One team is riding the nation's longest winning streak in high school football. The other, intent on avenging state tournament losses in 2 of the past 3 seasons. It's a rematch of the 2018 Class 2A Prep Bowl. It's Barnesville versus Caledonia, next on PrepSpotlight.tv.
PrepSpotlight.tv, in partnership with the Minnesota State High School League, brings you the 2019 State Football Tournament. This comprehensive coverage is supported by the McDonald's franchise owners of Minnesota. Further your education and achieve your dreams with McDonald's Archways to Opportunity. Today's coverage is also brought to you in part by the Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation, treating addiction, transforming lives. Comcast Xfinity, the best internet in America. The Urgency Room, in fast, home soon. And by UW River Falls, exceptional value, exceptional education.
Hello and welcome to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis with my broadcast partner Chris Ohm. I'm Bill Hupp. Chris, today we have a dandy of a game in the Class 2A state semifinals. The winner of this game will take on Minneapolis North in 2 weeks from today here at U.S. Bank Stadium. But we have 2 undefeated teams, the 2 top-ranked teams in the class all season. It's a rematch of last year's state championship game. Barnesville taking on Caledonia, the Warriors, of course, on a 66-game winning streak, the longest such streak in the country.
Yeah, and you're talking about 2 teams right now that are playing high-level football. You know, it's a 2A game, but I'll tell you what, across the state, most of the football wonks are talking about this as possibly the game of the semifinals at any class. You got a team in Caledonia that everybody knows right now. They're sitting on top of the mountain. They're riding that humongous win streak. The culture is high in Caledonia. You think you're an 8th grader, 7th grader, you're looking at, I want to win state championships, and here's the model, and here's how it gets done. On the other hand, Barnesville, up-and-comer, they have now seen what it takes to get to that second level, to get to Prep Bowl weekend on Thanksgiving. Coach Strand has them going at a high level. They're now consistently thinking we can not only make the corners, but we can make the semis. They have some unbelievable talent on their end as well. It poses to be one of the best games that we possibly could see here at semifinal weekend here at U.S. Bank. And
you talk about a team like Barnesville, fourth straight trip to the state tournament. They lost in the semis to Caledonia in 2016, in the quarterfinals to Paynesville in 2017, and then obviously last year in the Prep Bowl, 21-0 to Caledonia. But that score belies how close the game was, because Barnesville was 7-0 down until 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Caledonia tacked on 2 touchdowns late, and that score looked worse than it was. But the Trojans gave the Warriors last year as good a game as they faced all season.
Yeah, and those are the games. I mean, listen, if you're Caledonia, you're kind of the Patriots right now. Everybody's going to bring your A game, and everybody wants to beat you. When you have the win streak that you have, as the Warriors do, and Coach Frichte and staff, you got to bring the best, and Barnesville has done that. They've matched that. On top of it, Barnesville is one of those teams now, you talk year in and year out, you have powers up north like Holly, Breckenridge, DGF, teams like that. They're going to go up against Barnesville, and they're bringing their best. Barnesville has created a script now where it's similar to that Caledonia field, where they believe in the 2A realm that they're going to compete. So I tell you, it's going to be a head knocker right off the bat. I wouldn't expect this to be nowhere out of the realm of going right down to the wire. It's going to be a good one here today, Bill.
Yeah, no question about it. And time of possession, Chris, will be critical for Barnesville in order to keep the chains moving, to keep the ball out of Caledonia's explosive attack. And their rushing attack, while powerful, isn't the kind of quick strike offense that is built to come back. So for the Trojans, they really need to get ahead of the chains and try to keep this one close in order to compete with Caledonia.
Yeah, for sure. And you see those guys out there right now. I mean, listen, as far as the last few years go, look at that gentleman on the right. The king name in Caledonia standing right next to Carl Frichte. They know how to get things done. On the other end now, you're talking about guys that are going to the next level. Hunter Zenzen jumps right off of the page for me as somebody who's a shutdown type of a defender, plays well on the offensive side as equally. So, you look down, you got most of Barnesville here on the other side. buses were coming from Caledonia. They were coming off left and right. I would imagine that if you look at these two proud football communities, there's nobody left there to go. So we're gonna see them battling here today, and I would expect nothing except, you mentioned the rush attack, breaking down the little things. It's going to come down to defense on both sides of the ball here. Who's not going to bend? Who's going to play the best defensive games?
And now we throw it to the public address announcer for the coin toss at midfield. Okay. Should we go to commercial? We'll throw it to commercial to hear from our wonderful sponsors, and when we come back, we will have the opening kickoff from this Class 2A state semifinal at U.S. Bank Stadium. You are watching Minnesota High School State Football Playoffs on PrepSpotlight.tv.
While Minnesota high schools pursue victories, students across the state are also pursuing a college education with the help from McDonald's. Archways to Opportunity provides tuition assistance to restaurant employees. Crew members receive $2,500 per year for college, managers $3,000 per year. Tuition assistance applies to community colleges, four-year universities, or trade schools. For more information, visit mcdonalds.com/education.
Time to buy a new battery? Reach for what works. A battery from FVP. Verified, proven.
As local McDonald's owner-operators in Minnesota and West.
Back here at U.S. Bank Stadium, Chris Ohm alongside Bill Hupp as we get set for the opening kickoff. Caledonia won the toss and deferred to the second half. So the Warriors will send it off to the Trojans as we start things. The winner will play the winner of a game you saw yesterday, Chris, in Painesville and Minneapolis North. What did you think of the Polar Bears?
Well, two good teams. We saw some good athletes. Polar's just too much for the Painesville Bulldogs there. But, the winner of this game probably is going to come up with the 2 weeks. Remember here, Bill, we got 2 weeks in between. Now that they know that their opponent is going to be Minneapolis North, you got to prepare for those teams, so it'll be a really good game.
Hunter Anderson and Jackson Wall back deep to receive this opening kickoff for Barnesville. It's taken by Wall out across the 40, up to the 41-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will take over 1st and 10. After Isaiah Reinhart kicked it short, it was returned across the 40, and so the Trojans will have good field position to start here against Caledonia.
Wall did a nice job just following his blockers on that one. Field position is always going to be key here for teams when you get to this level here, semifinals, prep bowl. You want to have good field position to start. You don't want to be pinned all the way down. Starting right there at the 41 for the Trojans is a good start to their day.
And the Trojans on offense will start Jackson Wall, Aaron Schiefert, and Hunter Anderson in the backfield. Adam Tonsfeld under center, and on first down he gives to Wall. Wall dragging a defender across the 45 up near the 46-yard line, and they give to Wall on the first carry.
You're going to see the tight T. It's a double tight end, and Barnesville instituted this a few years ago. That's all those guys in the box right there. So you're going to fake that fullback through, hand off to the guy left or right. It's not as quite deceptive as we see like the Elk River, Lakeville South teams, but it's definitely a power type of football in the running attack.
Tonsfeld, play action pass, throws out, looking for Hunter Zenzen, and he overshoots his intended receiver, slipping out of the backfield. And that's something they'll do a lot, Chris. They'll slip Zenzen off the tight end position and try to get him into space. That's how they scored their passing touchdown in the state quarterfinal.
Yeah, I like the play call. Here's why. You want to settle your quarterbacks. Yesterday, all 4 games, you talk about quarterback play going into the game. Your heart's beating. It's racing right now. The crowd's at a high level. Everybody's cheering loud. You want a simple pass right there. You can even tell it. Tonsfeld rolls out, and he just dumps it in just a little too high. So that'll come down as the day goes on.
Again, the give. Now Tonsfeld fakes the wall. He's going to keep it himself, and he will be near first down yardage. He's knocked out by Cole Kronbusch right at the spot, and we'll see if they give him enough for a first down. Barnesville players on the far side certainly think they do. Looks from the naked eye maybe a quarter inch or a half an inch short. Nope. They are going to move the chains, so Adam Tonsfeld, who is one of the most dangerous runners in the state, 110 rushes for nearly 1,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, and a fumble this year.
Great deception. Watch on that replay here. Looks like the fullback was going to get it. Caledonia biting right there, but Tonsfeld comes back and pulls it for the first down, moves the chains.
Gets it to the 49, where they pick up first down yardage. Give up the middle. And a good push, another 5 yards gained. Aaron Schiefert getting the call that time for the Trojans.
You know, you want to mix fullback dive, you want to mix counter, you want to mix the fakes on the outside, and they've done that already. By showing it early, you're also telling the defense, hey, it can come from any direction. A lot of teams will just keep going to the well, same spot, and then try to fake out of it. Right now, Barnesville is showing the whole array out of that tight T.
Tonsfeld under center. Gives this time for the first time to Hunter Anderson, one of the leading rushers for this Barnesville team, and he falls forward down to the 40, so they're inside of Caledonia territory, a pickup of 4 to leave them with 3rd and short.
Watch again, watch Tonsfeld. You see how he has that right hand on his hip. He is taking a fake out. He's trying to bring a linebacker with him on that fake. If he can get 2 guys, even on that tough Caledonia defense, to step with him, that's going to break that fullback up the middle. So again, it's just constant pressure out of that tight T formation.
3rd and 2, ball at the 40-yard line. Tonsfeld, broken play, and he falls forward. It's going to be no gain. He's going to be stopped short at the 40-yard line, and now decision time for Brian Strand.
4th down, look again, just could have been a handoff. Tonsfeld decides I'm going to pull it away. Teams have gambled a lot on the 4 games yesterday as far as 4th down is concerned. You're pushed into Caledonia Warrior side right here at the 40. Punt might not make much opportunity to gain ground. Barnesville's going to roll the dice here. I think I agree with him here. Why not early?
4th and 1, the 40. Tonsfeld gives to Anderson. He gets first down yardage. The ball's out, however, and Caledonia has recovered. Coming out of the pile with it, Noah Jennings, the senior linebacker. Hunter Anderson had picked up enough yardage on first down, but then it was ripped out by Dalen Lemke. Starting tailback and also one of the starting safeties came up and ripped it out. And Caledonia has the first turnover of the game.
That's a culture right there. Caledonia is a rip culture. You watch. Nobody was going low on the hit. They know the first down was going to happen. Brent Schrader and a few guys now on that defensive staff. It's a rip and take mentality out there. It's a big turnover. They got the first, but now turned over on downs. First win for the Warriors.
Warriors take over at their own 37, and they'll go to the air on first down. Kronbusch had it for a minute and then dropped it as Noah King looking for his favorite target from last week. Owen Kronbusch, beg your pardon. 24 grabs for 476 yards and 8 touchdowns. He had 5 for 120 and 3 scores against Pipestone. That incompletion makes it 2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line. 4 wides and a lone setback next to King out of the shotgun. He's going to roll to his right. Pressured, escapes trouble, throws, and it is incomplete. Looking for his brother on the far side, Eli King, but the pass was too high. Pressure put on by Brady Kroll, one of the defensive linemen, a junior for Barnesville.
It shows you the athletic ability right here. Watch the rollout. 2 good angles right there. Just missed, and another Zenson coming in hot. Noah King right now, you remember, he's a big quarterback, very athletic, basketball type of frame on the outside. So if you make sure that you could contain something like that, you think a Suggs type of runner we saw last night with Miller, guys you want to keep in the pocket. He gets outside like that, very dangerous on the throw.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Warriors. Snap back to King. Looking downfield, throwing over the middle, off the hands of Eli King, and incomplete. So Barnesville's defense forces a 3 and out on the first possession for Caledonia this afternoon.
Well, both quarterbacks' hearts racing here, and you could see he had time. Watch his feet. He steps nicely. He settles just a little bit over the top. You're in a scenario here where you try to settle it down. Notice that first pass again here. It was just an easy inside slant, not a big deal. That's not a difficult pass as well. It's a post. He just, hearts are racing. Everybody takes a breath on these first 2 offensive series and settles down.
So the punt will go to Tonsfeld, who's standing back. It'll go out of bounds. Actually, Elias Dvorak is the punter, one of the defensive and offensive linemen. Not something you often see, especially at the higher levels, but that punt goes out of play, and Barnesville takes over with their second possession, starting in their own territory. What's the message for Coach Brian Strand as they start this second possession?
Well, knowing the Brian Strand and the type of offense that they're going to run, they're going to stick to that tight T. They're going to be set here. Teams now have had 2 opportunities, one on offense, one on defense, and you settle. Everybody's got to take a breath. Now you're into the game. Now we'll see what these teams are going to have.
Cameron Heng, first time in the game, and he gets the call on first down, and he's got room to run. Heng lowers his shoulder into Kronbusch. He's going to be shy of first down yardage, but he's across the 45 out near the 47-yard line on first down.
Great seal blocking again by Barnesville off this left side. One of the things that you got to be superior at is offensive line play too. If you run the tight T, coming off that, they will take anything over 5 yards a carry on that first play. You want to minimize 2nd and shorts, 3rd and shorts, so you have opportunities to go. These are where you see play action. This is where you got to be careful here.
Tonsfeld gives. No, he's going to. No, he does give it, beg your pardon. They gain first down yardage. That may not be the last time I'm faked out today. He carries out those fakes so well. He ultimately gave it up the middle to Schiefert, who gained 3 out to the 49 and got first down yardage for the Trojans.
Yeah, and definitely the Caledonia defense is thinking the same thing you are. Watch your assignment. If you sit there and think somebody has the ball, that's when you get burned on offense.
Again, the give up the middle. Caledonia equal to it this time. They throw Schiefert back for a loss of 1 to the 48. And yeah, so discipline is really the name of the game against this Barnesville offense.
Yep, and you got job security here. If you're a linebacker, you're only looking at a few things. You're looking at guard play, seeing if somebody's cutting across your face. You're looking not in the backfield. Watch the guys on defense. When they go down and they sit in that bucket, as they do right now, they're looking at the lineman.
Tonsfeld gives again and again. As this was Hunter Anderson, stopped up for no gain. So this is not the situation Barnesville wants to find itself in, behind the chains, facing 3rd and long.
Yeah, they're trying to establish that inside presence here. Caledonia just too tough from their linebacker play right now. They're getting a stalemate plus. They're getting a push from their defensive line. They're making sure that they're getting in the backfield. So they're definitely not falling for a lot of the fakes, but you just never know if it's going to go one way or the other. But right now, the defense for Caledonia looks pretty tough.
On the 48-yard line, they need to reach the 41 to get a first down, and Cameron Heng is strung out and tackled for another loss. Back inside the 45-yard line. Great pursuit by the Caledonia linebackers, including Jed Caston, number 28.
Barnesville will be forced to punt. Obviously a scenario now where you can push back 4th and long. That was an impressive defensive stance right there by Caledonia. They really established that they weren't going to go for a lot of the fakes. Barnesville usually gets 1 or 2 of those plays to go. Caledonia stood tough right there.
Tonsfeld back. He has only punted it 5 times this year. That just goes to show you how dominant their offense was. And he gets a one-off away from Eli King. It bounds out of bounds at the 42 of Caledonia, and that's where the Warriors will take over 1st and 10. And there is a penalty flag on the play, our first flag of the game. We'll wait to hear what the head official has to say.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Defense number 77. 15-yard penalty, the succeeding spot. First and 10, Caledonia.
Oh, and that's a massive penalty on Caledonia. The Warriors commit a personal foul on the return. That gives Barnesville first down. Well, no, I beg your pardon. It's still going to be Caledonia football, but it does march them back inside the 30 to the 27.
Yeah, with the punt being, about 10 yards, it ends up being a 25-yard swing. Like you said, the punt necessarily wasn't the greatest accumulator of yards, so the 15 onto that ends up probably a nice punt in the book anyways here. So Caledonia on the 15 after the play, but will secure the ball.
Caledonia from their own 27-yard line in that traditional one-back, four-wide receiver set, and they run it for the first time today and get good yardage on first down. Out near the 32, it's Dalen Lemke who gets the call there. Lemke coming in with solid statistics on the season. Dalen Lemke, 69 rushes for 504 yards and 5 touchdowns. So just shy of the 32. They give him 5 on first down. 2nd and 5 now from the 31. He remains in the backfield to the right of Noah King. 2 receivers right and left, including Eli in the slot. Slow snap. King takes it, throws over the head of his intended receiver as he was looking for Kronbusch on the sidelines. So Noah King just trying to settle down and become a little more accurate.
Sometimes when you look at that too, the ball sails a little bit. You ask a lot out of your receivers. You got to get that ball down. The release point has to be towards the numbers. When it sails, you're also raising your hands as a receiver. It's tough in those first go-abouts. You got to make sure that it goes right towards the numbers. Make it easy for them too. And then when you're asking down the field here in the fourth quarter, when you need it, they'll come up with the play.
Kronbusch goes in motion on 3rd down. Low snap to King. He's going to run it around the right edge. King cuts it back inside. First down yardage. If they give him the spot, they should. And he gets it by about a half yard across the 37 out near the 38. There does appear to be a flag down, though. This would be potentially negating this first down gain. Caledonia is still looking for its first down with 5 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first quarter.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Spot of the foul.
Holding
Replay,
on Caledonia. Wipe out the first down. Put the Warriors behind the chains.
Right now, both teams on both sides of the ball coming up with plays that have cost them a little bit here on drives. King, obviously, you can see can do it with his legs when he rushes on the outside. Does a nice job just sizing up the outside linebacker and then cuts in for the first down. But now holds and stalling moments both sides of the ball here have kind of hurt both teams.
So this sets the football back at the 24-yard line. And it brings up 3rd and 13 from the 24. From the far hash, Noah King takes the snap. Looking left, throwing down the seam for his brother. It's off his hands and nearly intercepted by Noah Kraus, the safety. Neither player could hang on, so it's going to be another 3 and out and a punt for Caledonia.
Again, nice toss, a little high, everything's sailing a little bit, but if you watch that, it was covered well. He had the under and the over on that one, and it's even impressive that the other King had his hands on the ball. Nearly intercepted on the play, would have been a big turnover for the Trojans. Looks like a punting scenario here for the Warriors.
And Noah King over his first 5 here this afternoon. So trying to settle down. Both teams in a defensive tussle at the moment as the punt sails back for Tonsfeld, who catches it at the 35 and returns it up across the 40 near the 45-yard line. And once again, Barnesville set up with good field position.
Good field position. The question is right now is that tight T. You have the double tight ends. You have 3 in the backfield. Can they get Caledonia to bite? Now, that last series, Caledonia really dictated the tempo defensively, but maybe we'll see some play action out of Barnesville here. They are capable. Remember, Zenzen is somebody in space who gets that ball as a weapon for them. We'll see what Coach Strand and staff have for this offensive drive.
Quick moving first quarter as Barnesville goes back to work on offense from their own 44-yard line. Tonsfeld sends a man in motion. Hunter Anderson will be the lead blocker as they pitch it out wide. And that's a different look, and that's the thing when you face this Barnesville rushing attack. They give you multiple looks as Schiefert carries it for 3.
A little motion out to the right. Just trying to hit an edge on that one. A simple pitch on the outside. Just trying to get a seal. Watch the reach. You know, they'll take that. It's a 3-yard play. Barnesville's not looking for the glamour and the glitz. They want you to bite on the simple things. If they can get 3 or 4 yards in that first play, they will call that a success, and they'll come back for another down.
Casey Schultz making the tackle from his defensive line spot as Tonsfeld under center. And everybody got going slow there. Flags fly in, and the play is stopped dead. First penalty of the game on Barnesville.
Second down.
It'll set them back 5 yards to the 42.
False start on that one, just a little bit of jitters. You know, it's always, when you have two teams that are so evenly matched like Caledonia and Barnesville, and they're playing 0-0, time flies by. You know, with King throwing the ball, coming up incomplete, you see a lot of opportunities for time to fly by, and we're almost done here with this first quarter.
Tonsfeld, play fake, throws, it's hit as he throws, trying to come back to the football, and a flag flies in. He was trying to hit Caden Zenzen, who had slipped out of the backfield. His pass was deflected at the line of scrimmage, and ultimately the defender, as Zenzen tried to come back for the football, we'll hear what the
Pass
official
interference.
announcement.
Defense number 88. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Chris Kronbusch was playing safety, but he didn't turn and see the ball, and he crashed into Caden Zenzen after the ball was deflected and came up short.
Yeah, pressure was just too much. It ended up just being a bad pass. The deflection would have been negating for the penalty, so I think he was just scrambling out and throwing it up in the air, and it looked just to be a wobble. Well, Zenzen had come back, and it was such a short-thrown pass that the defender had no choice but just to raise his hands and run right into him for the pass interference.
Spotted at the 43 of Caledonia, and a give to Jackson Wall over the left side. And he gets inside of the 40, down near the 37-yard line, so a good gainer on first down, but that play was critical as it gets it into Caledonia territory, and it bails out Barnesville, who were facing a 3rd and long if they didn't convert that.
Yeah, they're just one step short. You know, when he hits that outside, there's really only one more person to beat. If you can get that block, Caledonia is just packing it in. Watch this next series. There's at least 8, if not 9 personnel within that striking distance of the line here. Caledonia is definitely challenging. 4 down, 2 on the outside. That's 6 right there.
On first down, play fake, escaping pressure. Tonsfeld rolling out, chased by Noah King, and dragged down from behind. I think they're still going to give him first down yardage, but they may tack on more as a flag comes in, possible horse collar.
Yeah, we'll take a peek here, and I think that they may have something on that one, which would be big. Not only the first down get, but 15 after it, and that would be a full 15 over the
Personal
30
foul.
here.
Horse collar. Defense number 1. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
That's a huge call and probably a good one, although you feel bad for Noah King, who's just trying to make a hustle play.
See, the rule in high school is right there. If you take somebody down in the neck area, King's throwing it out there, and he knew it right away. The takedown, no matter if you let go or not, is in the horse-collared area. That 15-yard penalty after the fact was a big one here. A little momentum drive now for the Trojans.
With 2 big 15-yard penalties, Barnesville finds themselves on the Caledonia 18 on first down. Give to Hunter Anderson. Down to the 15, a run of 3. Cameron Hang actually the one who got the call. They really do share the load between Tonsfeld, Wall, Hang, and Anderson, and Schiefert. There's 5 guys who have toted the rock quite a bit for Barnesville this year. You look at 41 carries, 59, 68, 69, and then Tonsfeld with 110 as the quarterback.
And again, a very successful play for them. They'll take that 3 yards on the first down every time.
Tonsfeld gives this time, fakes it to Wall. Wall carries it out well, and Noah King and company were there to meet him They drop Tonsfeld back for a loss of 6 to the 21.
Tonsfeld on that one. The give was right there. That's a great read by King. You know, the offense is predicated to get your eyes looking in different directions. That time King was watching the ball. He saw Tonsfeld take it back. You know, it's a really chess match. If you hand that ball off, sure, he probably would have got a nice gain on that one. Tonsfeld was hoping that King would have stepped in the bucket, but he didn't for a big drop for a loss.
So 3rd and 13 as Tonsfeld double fakes, throwing down the seam, and a big collision. And it's knocked away. Great job defensively coming up by Jacob Stagmeyer from his safety position to meet the intended receiver and knock it away for Caledonia.
Watch the routes on this one. Schiefert is in the flat, and they really have 3 guys that were going down the field. If Tonsfeld has the ability to plant and go deep on that one, they're not expecting it, and that's something that you could probably, startle almost the secondary on this. But that play that was short, they have that covered. So big 4th down play coming here.
Minute 30 left to go in the first quarter, still scoreless on 4th and 13. Send a man in motion. Tonsfeld, kind of a broken play, and he's swallowed up and sacked by Caledonia. Warriors take over on downs.
Great play by Caledonia. Not sure what the Trojans were trying to accomplish on that one. It looked like it was a pump fake by Tonsfeld and then a run. And his blocking was not in front on that one. Coaching staff over there talking to Tonsfeld and a few of the offensive linemen. And I think there was a slow developing play. Tonsfeld might have been just a step or 2 ahead of his blocking.
Noah King and Ethan Jacobson there to meet him and throw him down and turn the ball back over to Caledonia. Well, they'll take over 1st and 10 with the ball on their 23. And a minute 32 left in the first quarter. Trying to get their first down of the game. Noah King gets the low snap and decides to run it, and gets good yardage on 1st down out near the 27-yard line.
Again, both teams content with nice 3-4 yard gains to start. You know, if you can go off tackle here and get that 3-man rush and a 3-4 yard gain in the backfield for the Warriors, that's a good start. You know, they have 2 out on each side. They're looking to zing the ball around. Barnesville is going to have a 3-person rush. Zenzen right there in the middle. But that's a good start here for Warrior offense.
From the 27 on 3rd and 6. King over the middle looking for his brother, and again, incomplete. He tried the skinny post over the middle, and he was open. Defended on the play by Noah Kraus, but King could not connect and has yet to complete a pass this afternoon.
Yeah, the receivers have been there. That pass was just a little bit low. He has time. There's only a 3-man rush coming from the front. King delivers that strike.
So now it brings up a critical 3rd and 6 from the 27 with time running out here first quarter. 2 receivers right and left. Noah King from the shotgun with Lemke to his left. Takes the snap, looking left. Now he's going to pull it down and run right. Throws over his intended receiver's head and incomplete. And Caledonia once more forced to punt by this stingy Barnesville defense.
Yeah, stingy defense right now is the key. Now watch King. He rolls out to his right after he's flushed. He had the receiver right there. The ball sailed again. You know, King right now, his accuracy is high-low. He just has to find those short passes to get him into the game. Putting that receiver high, you saw it right there. He wasn't going to go for the ball with the Barnesville defender coming right at him. It would have been exposed. It would have been a heck of a shot. Brings up 4th down.
King 0 for 7 in this first quarter. And once again, Dvorak back to punt, standing at his own 16-yard line. Tonsfeld awaiting the punt at his own 42, and Barnesville should get good field position as Tonsfeld makes the fair catch at the 39-yard line. So they'll have 36 seconds with which to work in this first quarter. A fumble, a turnover on downs, and 4 punts. And we remain scoreless between Barnesville and Caledonia.
Barnesville's going to have the ball now, and I'm wondering what more we haven't seen yet out of that tight tee. I mean, the Caledonia has met the match every time that they've tried to use that deception. There has to be a few more things that Barnesville is going to show here, Caledonia, in order for them to spread out.
Tonsfeld gives to Hang, and Hang again met in the backfield by Noah King and driven back. Also in there making the stop, Jed Caston and number 59, Casey Schultz. So Caledonia has really bottled up this Barnesville rushing attack, except for a couple plays. And if Caledonia can clean up the penalties, they might hold Barnesville even at this point. A loss of 1 back to the 38 on that play.
This will probably be the last play here going into the quarter.
Indeed it will. We have reached the end of one quarter from US Bank Stadium. We are scoreless between Barnesville and Caledonia. You are watching the Class 2A state semifinals from US Bank Stadium only on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Splash, 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 apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow, just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, 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 apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Getting ready to start the second quarter from US Bank Stadium in the Class 2A state football semifinals. And highlights from that first quarter of a 0-0 game, and it started out with a big fumble forced by Caledonia, but their offense just could not get going in that first quarter. Noah King 0 for 7 in that first quarter off the hands of his brother, intended receiver, a couple times, and in this instance, Tonsfeld not accurate either. And so a defensive struggle. Barnesville has moved the ball thanks largely to Caledonia penalties. So they did drive it inside of the Caledonia red zone, but ultimately they were turned away on downs, and we remain scoreless after one, Chris.
Both teams just now have a quarter under their belt. Offenses have looked a little bit out of characteristic for both teams. They need to settle down. Defensives have shined here early on for both teams.
From the 38, Tonsfeld gives to Hunter Anderson. Across the 40 out to the 42, a gain of 3 yards. So it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Trojans.
Warrior defense is willing to put 9 people in the box. They have 6 people on the line right now. The push that they're getting is a one-step and hold. They're not trying to get into the backfield. The reason why is if you get in the backfield and miss, you're already past maybe 6 or even 7 of those defenders. They're just taking steps in, making sure that the guard, tackle, tight end in front of them are accounted for. And those 2 linebackers right in the middle make the tackles.
Bunch formation to the right, play action. Tonsfeld lofts it out over his intended receiver's head, looking for Jackson Wall. That was incomplete, however. And Barnesville will be forced to punt, I believe, as Tonsfeld will stay in to deliver that punt. Caledonia's defense responding to the call. And Chris, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that we're 0-0 after a quarter, considering it was 7-0 late fourth quarter last year in the Prep Bowl.
Yeah, this 0-0 could hold for the second quarter too. As far as that goes, Bill, we are seeing 2 defenses that are stepping up, but just wondering what offense here is going to get on page and click.
Tonsfeld, as they do not rush the kicker, Tonsfeld will have it bound out of bounds at about the 37, and that's where Caledonia will take over 1st and 10. Warriors still looking for their first down, Chris.
You know, one of the things that you had touched upon it early is Barnesville's offense isn't predicated on to come from behind. They're playing ball control, probably wanting to stay in the game, get a score or 2. You look at all their scores throughout the year, really the only team that contested them was the first game of the year in Ada Borup, a team that has made the state tournament at the 1A level. After that, they have just pounded teams with that deception. So this is the real first test as far as just a solid team that Barnesville defensively has faced.
Noah King from the shotgun takes the snap and throws. Brother Eli catches it, puts his foot in the ground, makes a couple men miss, and he's into the open field. Eli King dragged down at the 20-yard line, but not after a huge gain on 1st down. A pickup of 43 yards on that pitch and catch from brother to brother.
Right there, the reason why it was a great play, it was an easy pass. Put the ball in your athlete's hands. Don't try to get all of the yardage in the air. Do it on short passes. It's going to go as a big pass completion for one King, but it was definitely the other who ended up getting all the yards. Get the ability for Noah King to get the ball into Eli's hands and just make it easy. That's where Caledonia shines.
Eli King, 45 catches, 804 yards, and 17 touchdowns coming in. Noah King rolling out, misses his intended receiver on the near side as he was looking for Donnie Lakey. So Noah King starting off the game just 1 of 9, but they do have it right on the doorstep of the Barnesville Red Zone.
And 2 easy passes right there. That one was just a drop, a through the hands type of thing. And again, when you have a really good quarterback in Noah King, the passes early were kind of that adrenaline pass. Now you have an opportunity of spreading the field. You don't want Barnesville to give you pressure. Make quick passes. Get it in your athlete's hands. I would imagine if you can get Noah King rolling out as well, just another weapon for him to run and use his legs.
2 receivers right and left. Noah King sends a man in motion as he goes from the shotgun. He takes the snap. It's a designed run. He picks his way inside of the Barnesville red zone across the 20 down to about the 18. That's a big load to tackle at quarterback.
Yeah, he's just going right behind guard tackle on that left side. You see the Barnesville defender stepping up there.
Camperud makes the tackle for Barnesville. It's a pickup of 2, so it brings up 3rd and 8 now for Caledonia, but that's not a situation you fear if you're the Warriors and you can pass as well as they do.
Yeah, and that's the difference of these offenses. When you spread it out, you have the 3rd and long capability. That's where Barnesville stalls and tries to pick up those 3-4 yards every play.
Inside of 10 minutes to go before half. Still scoreless between these 2A powerhouses. Noah King flushed from the pocket. Rolling, eyes downfield, throwing, and he doesn't get much on that throw. Bounces it into the turf, and so it's going to bring it up 4th and 8 now. And they are most definitely going to go for it, it would seem.
Watch Brady Kroll on the outside slip right there. He lost contain. That got King on the outside. Good presence by the linebackers to pursue King right away, and good coverage in the backfield.
Well, credit this defensive backfield of Barnesville, including Noah Kraus and Adam Tonsfeld, Jackson Wall. They're really defending well, and they're not giving Noah King many options to throw to. 4th and 8 from the 18-yard line coming up for Caledonia. Trying to be the first team that scores, and Carl Frichte will wisely take a timeout. So the first timeout of the half, and it allows us to reset and take a break with them. Scoreless, but Caledonia is driving, facing a big 4th down coming up. You're watching the Class 2A state semifinals from US Bank Stadium on PrepSpotlight.tv.
While Minnesota high schools pursue victories, students across the state are also pursuing a college education with the help from McDonald's. Archways to Opportunity provides tuition assistance to restaurant employees. Crew members receive $2,500 per year for college, managers $3,000 per year. Tuition assistance applies to community colleges, 4-year universities, or trade schools. For more information, visit mcdonalds.com/education.
Carl Frichte addressing his team in the huddle as we're back here at US Bank Stadium. Bill Hupp alongside Chris Olm, and Chris, 4th and 8, but a lot of options sitting at the 18-yard line of Barnesville.
Yeah, most definitely. I would imagine some sort of rollout too with Noah King. You're going to see him be able to get his legs and arm in action. Pressure will come from Barnesville. You just can't let Noah King pick you apart right back there, but he hasn't been the most accurate to start this game, so a little chess match here is, do you bring pressure or not?
Eli King, the lone receiver on the far side. Noah's looking his way. He throws. He hits him at the 8-yard line. 1st down for the Warriors. He just kind of sat in the middle of that zone, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah, he did, and he looked on the backside. You see how his eyes looked back right away? That was a call that Coach Frichte had in mind. He wasn't going to roll out. A lot of teams now in these semifinal games, if they've gone through the air, have earned it on the backside. So when he rolled out, you saw King's eyes was looking on the backside. That was designed right in a pocket. Great strike there for the 1st down.
We saw that with Hutchinson yesterday. How many times did they throw back and have success? This makes it first down after that gain of 10, first and goal from the 8-yard line. King takes the snap. Rolling right, throwing, touchdown, Caledonia! Cole Kronbusch. There is a flag down, however, in the backfield, so hold everything. And it looks like it's going to be against the Warriors.
10-yard penalty, spotted foul. 3-play first down.
Caledonia, unofficially their 5th penalty of this first half. Costly at that one.
You get the hold right there.
It negates what would have been an 8-yard touchdown strike to Cole Kronbusch, who had 3 catches for scores last week in the state quarterfinal win. So it makes it 2nd and goal from the 22. Noah King looking middle, now looking right, throwing, and it's out of the hands of his intended receiver as Kronbusch couldn't haul it in. And another flag down on the play.
Yeah, I think right now Caledonia is going to get called for another hold, and they're going to keep pushing them back here.
The Warriors costly penalties.
Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty, spotted foul.
Boy, the Caledonia sideline right now, they're livid. I mean, you're getting a 2-hold call here. And Caledonia gets the completion underneath the 10-yard line. Take a peek where they just spotted that ball at the 33 here. Boy, there are not a lot of opportunities when you're first and goal at the 33.
Well, and you essentially, Chris, you figure there's 4 downs to pick up this 33 yards. So certainly doable, but they have to eliminate the penalties. 6 of them already in this first half. Noah King over the middle for Kronbusch. He makes the catch, and he's tackled just shy of the goal line. Down at the 1. That's how you get 33 yards back in a hurry.
And they're going to want to get quick to the line, too. You see Carl Frichte over there telling Noah King, he's waving him over. They want to get up there while the momentum is on their side.
Barnesville making a couple substitutions. I wouldn't be surprised to see King take it himself here. They're going to do their traditional formation. Eli King split out on an island to the left as Noah King barks out signals from the 1-yard line. Noah King rolling left, looking for Eli. Now he comes back, pressured, escapes one man, gesturing to his receiver, still going. He's going to be dragged down and lucky to make to limit the damage to just a 2-yard loss. Technically, it'll go down as a sack, but he evaded just about the entire Barnesville front 7 on that play. Escaping players including Brady Kroll, who's had a whale of a first half. He gets by Damian Camperud, finally dragged down by Camperud at the 3. That just shows you the escapability of Noah King.
Timeout. Barnesville. It's their first charge.
Barnesville takes a timeout. With 8:08 left to play before half, Caledonia at the 3-yard line. We'll take a break with them. From US Bank Stadium, this is the Class 2A state semifinals on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Time to buy a new battery? Reach for what works. A battery from FVP. Verified, proven.
3rd and goal coming up for Caledonia from the 3-yard line. Ball's on the near hash. Bill Hupp alongside Chris Olm. Caledonia trying to be the first team to score in this game after they did not pick up a first down. They've only picked up 2 first downs for the game. They didn't pick up a single first down in the first quarter. And Noah King having very much an off night for him, but Warriors could still be the first team to strike if they can put it in here in the next 2 plays.
Well, if they punch it in, they've earned it. And it's been penalties here and 2 big penalties, the 2 holds here. got them back in a position, but just Noah King's arm got him right back down to the goal line.
Perhaps a fade to Eli King here. Noah King takes the direct snap, registers for the goal line, touchdown, Caledonia. Noah King from 3 yards out gives the Warriors the lead. And that was simple and effective.
Well, you let your athlete do it on the ground. Sometimes you don't overthink it. You got tough guys up front, not that left side. You got 2 blockers in the backfield. You got a very able Noah King who can do it on the ground. He comes off that sideline and just punches in for the first score here today in 2A action.
So on to attempt the extra point, Brody Johnson, and it's a broken play. He's rolling out to the near side, reaching for the goal line. He touches the pylon, and it's good. So Eli King took the direct snap as the holder and ran it around the near side. It's 8-0 Caledonia.
Well, that's fortunate. We talk about points all the time as coaches. Is you want to make sure that you maximize every opportunity to get a point. Low snap right there. King picks up the ball. It looks like he had 3 guys out there in angles, but shows you his team speed on it, and it's a pylon for 2 points. So,
and that's why you have athletes as your holders if you can help it for broken plays just like those.
Yeah, I tell you what, some of your best athletes should be holders. I know a lot of teams that have put their best right there, and when you get that down on the ground and you could punch it into the pylon for 2, that's big points.
So that drive was 8 plays, 63 yards, and it results in 3 minutes and 8 seconds. It results in a 3-yard touchdown run by Noah King. For Noah King, that's his 13th touchdown, rushing touchdown of the season. He came in with over 700 yards on the ground. And I wouldn't say Carl Frichty's going to be pleased with how his offense has been humming, but his team does have the lead, 8-0 with 8:03 to play before.
It just feels like one of these games, Bill, where 8-0 could be the quarter, and it could be another score by the other team, and 8-6 could be a final. It just has that feel here today.
Reinhardt's kick, low bounding past Anderson. Fielded at the 6-yard line and returned by Jackson Wall. He's going to be shy of the 20. Good coverage by Caledonia. This is the worst starting field position by far. So now we'll look at the drive highlights, and it started with an incredible run and catch by Eli King.
Well, I like it. He gets into his hands. It's an easy pass. Those are the passes you want to give your quarterback opportunities to be successful.
And then here, over the middle on 4th down to his brother once more. And then a huge completion to Kronbusch. As Barnesville goes to work on 1st down, and Anderson carries it across the 22. So it's a 21, we'll call it. So a gain of 3 for Tonsfeld.
Tonsfeld, again, it's not glamorous. This is one of those games that is you have a contrast when you're watching offense. Very good teams coming into this game, but if you're watching at home, you're thinking, boy, you're used to that college football, NFL, everybody's zinging the ball around. Barnesville wants to control everything inside, end to end here, all inside deception.
Tonsfeld fakes it, keeps it himself. Tonsfeld breaks a couple tackles. He's into the open field. Adam Tonsfeld across midfield to the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Barnesville. 78-yard touchdown run for Adam Tonsfeld. And Barnesville is a 2-point conversion away from tying this game.
Watch the patience here. He goes on the outside. He misses one guy. But if you get into that second level with 9 guys in the box that Caledonia has, this is what Barnesville wants. And when you get Tonsfeld in the open like that, nobody's going to catch him on the outside right there. Boy, you Trojan fans on the other side come to life here when they needed a big answer, and they got it there from Tonsfeld on the ground.
When you look at Tonsfeld's stats, 110 rushes, 1,150 yards, 24 touchdowns coming in, and he showed you why, as they will go for 2, trying to tie this game. Tonsfeld fakes to Anderson, throws for Wall, and it's knocked away. He was actually looking for Zenzen, and who came over to defend but Eli King. Great defensive play by King.
Yeah, watch this play right here. Just kind of skies two guys in the passing route, and King goes up and makes a nice play to bring her to the turf.
And he actually had two, Chris. He had two receivers in that pattern. He could have gone and floated it to Wall in the corner, but Zen was closer to it. And a nice defensive play by King. And how much does that really matter, Chris? How important is it that you have athletes that can go both ways for these smaller schools?
Oh, it means the world. I mean, you're talking about a numbers game right now in football. Anybody that's at that 9-man to possibly 3A, even 4A, you need numbers, and you need your best athletes on the field. Boy, you have to be a both-way player. It's very rare that you will see 2A teams that just have defensive units and offensive units. And right there, I mean, it's a perfect example. You put Eli King on both sides, and he comes up and makes a nice play on the defensive end.
I mean, how many times, we don't have official tackling totals right now for Noah King, but he's been involved seemingly every negative yardage play for Barnesville. So Noah King has been solid, Eli King as well, and then obviously Barnesville, Hunter Zenzen, Hunter Anderson, a bunch of contributors on both sides of the football for both of these teams, and that's why you have arguably the top two teams in the state in Class 2A doing battle, and it's been everything we hoped it would be. 8-6, Caledonia with the lead after that conversion fails. 7:07 to go. Barnesville set to kick off here after the two teams trade touchdowns. The big play for Barnesville, kind of out of nowhere. Adam Tonsfeld houses it from 78 yards, a low line drive kick. Fielded by Eli King at the 20-yard line. Again, puts his foot in the ground, and this time he's met and whacked down at the 29. Big hit delivered by Hunter Anderson, who met King in the hole and dropped him.
Well, watch Hunter Anderson right here. He's coming right down the middle. You'll see the screen coming up. Makes one move here. Boom, Hunter Anderson, just a beautiful tackle right there.
He almost just ran into him, really.
Yeah, the momentum right now is the Trojans. You get into a place like US Bank, fans get to their feet. Boy, the Trojans sure answer when the Warriors, you thought right there, getting scores. Great ball game here right now.
Ball's on the 30-yard line as Noah King looks to the sideline to get the play. Relays it, two receivers right and left. King takes, looks left, now will look middle. Now he'll throw down the seam looking for Kronbush, and Kronbush hauls it in. Kronbush dragging his defender inside the 15 to the 14. Tackled finally on the play by Hang, but not before a huge gain on first down.
Well, I don't know how you can defend it any better if you're Barnesville. He just turned his head the wrong way. He looked inside, and he gained just enough separation right there to make a heck of a play. Boy, King throws it up, and he knows his sure-handed receivers are going to have an opportunity to bring it down, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
A 56-yard strike, so after 43 yards to open this drive last time, Noah King to Kronbush for 56, and they have the ball once more inside the Barnesville red zone on the 14-yard line. King takes the direct snap, tries to run it, and he's met by a host of Trojan defenders. In there making the stop, Hunter Anderson, Joey Mark, among others. They were wise to that, and it's a loss of 2 back to the 16.
Aaron Schieffer getting back there, too, just causing problems. You know, when you make the running back stop or you make the quarterback stop, it's going to allow people to come up and help on that one. You might not necessarily be the person who gets the tackle, but you disrupt the play in the backfield. Nice job by Barnesville in that play.
Two receivers right and left again for King. He looks left, throws quickly. It's caught by Lakey, who falls down. And that prevented what would have been maybe otherwise a big gainer. He picked up just a yard to the 15, maybe the 14.
Yeah, Lakey in the inside slot. He had a blocker on the outside, and he was trying to plant and go outside, but just slipped and his knee hit the ground, or he had had a nice little lane there. Possible first down, possible touchdown if he kept his feet.
Such a difference between the quarterfinals, Chris, when you're playing in the cold and snow very often. Get inside here on ideal conditions. I'm going to say it's 3rd and 10. Line to gain the 5-yard line. And the 4. Trips to the near side for Noah King. Takes the snap. Looking middle, throwing behind his intended receiver, but a nice catch.
It's a hard throw, and he puts 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 it on the backside, but more impressively, what a catch on that play. I mean, your momentum is going forward, and then you're asked to turn around and make the completion. Nice play.
Eli King split out wide, trips to the near side from the 4-yard line on 1st and goal. Noah King throwing low, caught, touchdown, Caledonia. Eli King went down and got the low pass, and the Warriors increased their lead.
This is a nice little out here. And a strike. How many times do you think that has happened in the King family reunion backyard? Is zinging that ball right over there.
And Noah King, not the greatest pass he's ever thrown, but the athleticism of his brother to go down and get it. Rangy 6'3" receiver. He'll stay in to hold on this extra point attempt by Brody Johnson. It's a 14-6 lead for Caledonia, and there's a pause in play. And the play was under review to make sure that Eli didn't trap that football. As of right now, it's a 14-6 Warrior lead with 4:37 to go before half.
Minnesota has instituted the 3 years now of the replay up in the box, all scoring plays. You know, yesterday we saw some reviews in those 4 games that ended up overturning. Some would say, depending on which side you were on, that cost teams. But they were reviews that it's because the angles that you see. It's because of the opportunity for the shots. I mean, we see plays yesterday we were watching that were sideline catches, and you couldn't see it live. And then you watch it on replay, and you still couldn't see it. I mean, that's how close those plays were. So, you know, they'll take the time right now to take a peek at it. The white hat's over with the official, but
truly a game of inches, huh?
Truly a game of inches. It just makes you appreciate the officials even more when they're out there doing it and at real time and how fast things are. And then you watch it on replay and you're sitting at home and watching, and you could critique it and analyze it all you want in a super high def slow-mo, but this is zinging around out here. It's really difficult.
It looked from up here, through the binoculars anyway, that he had gotten both hands under it and secured the catch, and he certainly acted like he did. The ref did hesitate for a moment before raising the arms, but then he got him up, and so Caledonia is an extra point away potentially from taking a 9-point lead.
Let's take a peek there. Both hands underneath.
That's what it looked like from our vantage point. They're still conferring down on the sidelines. Inside of 5 minutes to go before half. Game was 0-0 for the first quarter and a half, and now a relative offensive explosion.
See right there, they slow it down. This is going to be a beautiful shot. Boy, there's nothing really there to indicate that it bounced off the turf.
And I just don't know, Chris, if there's enough there to overturn the call. There's not clear and obvious or definitive proof to change the call on the field, would be my thought. But they continue to confer, and it
looks like they're going to stand here.
Previous play has been confirmed. Touchdown.
It is a touchdown for Caledonia. So Noah King has now run for a touchdown pass, and he's thrown one to his brother.
Big extra point here for separation now that Barnesville has missed their 2.
Snap down, kick is through the uprights and good for the Warriors. So Caledonia Off another big pass play early in the drive, tacks on the extra point, and they lead 15-6 with 4:37 to go in the second. You're watching the Class 2A state semifinals from US Bank Stadium on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Splash, splash, splash. Apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your
Caledonia hits a 56-yard pass play on their last drive to get all the way inside of the Barnesville red zone, and then 3 plays later, Noah King hit his brother Eli on a quick little out route, which is, Chris, really hard to defend, especially in short yardage situations and when you have athletes like the King brothers.
Hard to defend because you don't know as the D-back, is he going to break in or out? So you're kind of dropping back and trying to wait and see any sort of lean if he's going to go in or out. But right now the Kings seemingly, this second corner, have kind of find their stride through the air.
Yep, Noah King numbers still don't look great. Now a trick play for Barnesville as Hunter Anderson takes the handoff and he reaches across the 40-yard line, trying to get every available yard. As we look at the drive highlights from that last scoring drive for Caledonia, and it started with a huge pass play to Kronbusch.
Just a strong arm right there. Just enough separation on that inside turn look that created the pass completion on that one.
What a ball thrown by Noah King, who, as we said, finds his brother Eli, makes the catch. It was reviewed and upheld, and Caledonia has a 15-6 lead over Barnesville as the Trojans take over.
So well coached. You can see King's form on that one. Just a beautiful pass.
On first down, Caledonia swarms under Adam Tonsfeld and sacks him or tackles him for a loss of 7 back to the 38.
Ezra Dvorak on that one. They were trying to catch the Warrior defense asleep on that one. Play action when Tonsfeld goes back. He had 2 guys in the route, but they got picked up nicely. Pressure right there by Dvorak, got in the backfield quickly, so Tonsfeld had no time there to pass the ball. Big sack on the play.
Dvorak with the sack. It's actually back at the 33, so that's where Barnesville will have it as Tonsfeld follows his blockers, bounces it outside, and a potentially touchdown-saving tackle by Eli King coming up from his safety spot to trip up Tonsfeld, but not before he gets it all the way out to the 45.
There again, it's just deception. That's exactly how the offense is predicated. They want you to look inside. You see all this handoff motion on the inside. The guards are pulling so it looks like it's on the inside and sealing, and Tonsfeld bounces out and picks up positive yards on the run.
Sets up a very manageable 3rd and 5 at the 45 now for Barnesville. Tonsfeld will keep it himself again. Dragging defenders, cuts it back inside, reaching, and he should have enough for first down yardage. Adam Tonsfeld, as his jersey was being pulled from behind, dragging defenders, and he's not a big kid at all. He's 5'7", 160 pounds, and yet he managed to escape the rush of Jed Caston and pick up first down yardage.
Well, it looks like he was going to be about a yard short, but his momentum and his strength willed it for another yard and a half there and kept the chains moving, so it was a big run there by the junior quarterback.
Ball's smack dab at midfield as Barnesville continues its drive. Tonsfeld again play fake. Tackled from behind by Noah King, who read the play well. Tonsfeld still manages to fall forward for a gain of 3.
And again, it's 3 yards. They will take it every time. King on the backfield right there, just riding the curtail. So when you see everything in front of you, if you're King, he sees it all moving that way. He is just coming over the top, looking to go for the quarterback on that one, and he doesn't even know if he's got it or not. Comes up with a nice tackle.
So 2nd and 7 from the 47. Tonsfeld play fake to a couple players. Rolls out. And because they rolled to that short side of the field, Chris, he didn't have much, and he was forced out of bounds.
Yeah, 12th man got him there, and that's the sideline. Luckily, he got actually any yards out of the play. I thought initially they were going to be dropped for a loss, but again, the deception when you watch, when he tucks that ball away.
For a yard. Back to the 48. And so what Chris, would you run it to that short side, or do you want to go to the other side?
Well, the short side, too, is if you get the edge, they're usually going to slant the field, so it's kind of a chess match.
And I believe Barnesville will
Charge timeout
take their second charge timeout of the half. So we'll take a quick timeout as well. 2:14 remaining before halftime. Barnesville marching into Caledonia territory, trailing 15-6. You're watching the Class 2A state semifinals from US Bank Stadium on PrepSpotlight.tv.
As local McDonald's owner-operators in Minnesota and western Wisconsin, the heart of our business is people.
That means serving our communities and providing opportunities for our employees.
We value working with educators. It's important to us to inform them about Archway's opportunity as benefit students.
Archways provides college tuition assistance, ESL courses for language learners, academic advising. You can even earn your high school diploma.
Visit your local McDonald's or go on to mcdonalds.com/education to find out more.
Because education
Because education
is
a game changer.
Coach Brian Strand talking to his troops before they face a 2nd and 8 with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. And now the clock becomes a factor, Chris, as they've got one timeout to work with and the ball on the 48-yard line.
Yeah, you want to be careful here, too. An incomplete pass or something that is uncharacteristic. With Caledonia sitting at 2 timeouts, they have opportunity. They're a team that can strike down the field fast. So if you're Barnesville here, you watch. If they have a run here, watch Caledonia. They might call the quick timeout to force the punt.
Tonsfeld, play fake, rolling out, dragged down from behind and sacked by Noah King. Back at the 43-yard line, a loss of 10. How about that penetration, Chris?
Huge penetration, and we're going to get a Caledonia timeout here, too. Maybe a little too much time off the clock. You saw the coaches run into Carl Fricky there, and he ended up with the timeout. But, boy, that's a big sack right there. It's going to force the issue now for Barnes with a punt. Tonsfeld, we've seen him punt today, not necessarily big yards, big gains on the punt. So you might have an opportunity here with King. One timeout, 1:50 on the clock. He's got his stride now, and you don't want to give up another touchdown if you're a Trojan fan.
Wow, and it's dangerous, Caledonia, unlike just about any team in the state, because they can go vertical with the passes. They've already displayed big pass ability. And, Chris, we talked about the explosive offense, their passing attack. 3 of Noah King's 6 touchdown passes in the state quarterfinals were from 50 yards or more, 52, 58, and 67. So this is certainly a passing attack that can move the ball in a hurry. And so Barnesville, a minute 56 is really an eternity for the Warriors.
Yeah, plenty of time here, and it's not the pressure type of situation that you would have maybe if you had 3 or 4 plays you knew were left. You had maybe 30, 40 seconds. Plenty of time here. It's literally the 2-minute drill. You just have opportunities. It pushes Barnesville on their heels, too. It makes them play back a little bit. It'll be interesting to see this punt. This is a big play here. I mean, if he gets a clean punt, it's still going to be a situation where he might have enough for 30-40. But boy, oh boy, if he shanks one here, it's going to be midfield for the Warriors to start.
And Carl Fricky is forced to take a timeout. There was some confusion with the substitutions for Caledonia, and it looked like they had too many men on the field. So Coach Fricky is forced to burn a timeout. Caledonia has just one left.
Yeah, and that's tough as a coach, too. You're sitting there, it's 2 minutes left. You have timeouts ticking off the clock. You want to save them. But you saw the kids coming in and out, and you're thinking in your head in split seconds, do I take the penalty? Then maybe it's 4th and 10 instead of 4th and 19 or 20. And then you take another timeout, so it burns another timeout down to 1 here. Not an ideal situation, especially when you're coming out of the timeout. You have to take another one.
Yeah, and the fact is those timeouts are like gold as you're trying to move the ball and add to your lead. But after a slow start for both offenses, particularly Caledonia, the Warriors have really hit their stride with their passing attack. And now you look at Noah King's numbers, 7 of 16 for 158 yards and a touchdown in this first half. Eli King, dangerous return man. He's got a couple of return touchdowns. Tonsfeld's going to take it and run the fake. Tonsfeld trapped in the backfield and dragged down. He kind of stopped and hesitated at the 39, 40-yard line, and it was never going to be complete. Finally dragged down by a couple defenders, including Ezra Dvorak.
Well, the fake was evident on the rollout, but Tonsfeld had no urgency to throw the ball. You're in a situation where you're better off just throwing it up like it's the punt. They intercept it, but you take the sack. Now you're at the 39-yard line. Worst case scenario just happened here. It's just like you were going to punt it anyways. Tonsfeld should have just chucked that ball up for grabs to see what would have happened.
Yeah, a risky call, and now Caledonia with fantastic field position at the Barnesville 39. Noah King lofts it out. It's caught on the near side and tackled up to the 39-yard line. Jed Caston out of the backfield.
Quick up to the line here now. You're going to be really quick on everything here. His coaching staffs are going to press this, so every second now it's going to be really precious for the Warriors.
Spotted at the 32-yard line after that pickup of 7 on first down. Again, 4 receivers in the pattern. Trips to the far side this time. 1:20 and counting left to go in the first half. King rolling to the short side, throwing, and it's off the hands of Lakey, who could have had it at the 25, and he dropped it. So stops the clock with 1:14 to go in the first half, and a 3rd and 3 coming up from the 32.
Well, he ran a deep comeback on that one, just dropped the ball on the rollout right there. Bounced off, would have been the first down, and he would have been far enough where he could have just stepped out of bounds. So instead of gaining that first down here, we come up with looks to be a 3rd and 3 here.
This time Eli King comes to the near side, lone receiver on the near side. Noah King looking left, fakes, throws middle, caught, touchdown, Caledonia! Cole Kronbush from Noah King, 32 yards for the score.
King has definitely found his stride. Beautiful pass. He catches him in stride on the post. Watch the throw. Almost Mahomes-like. He was aiming like he was going to throw it out into the flat. And his body, if you watch it again, looked like he was going to go left. And he throws it down on that post. Beautiful pass here. This is a worst-case scenario for the Trojans. They wanted to get an opportunity where they could go into half at least manageable. Now with the arm of Noah King on that one.
The extra point is booted up and through. Caledonia, quick strike offense delivers. They march it down 39 yards in just 3 plays, and they lead it now 22-6 with 1:09 left in the second quarter.
And just too much Caledonia right now in this drive. Noah King impressively just is calmed. We saw him early. Balls were high, balls were low. He was running outside, wasn't really getting a rhythm. Now every time he's throwing the ball, it's on a strike and it's with purpose. And more importantly, he's got his receivers on the same page right now too. Those are dangerous combinations.
How about this? Cole Kronbush in the first half, 3 catches, 121 yards and a touchdown. Noah King after that touchdown strike now 9 for 19, 197 yards and 2 scores. He's also run for a touchdown. So, and that is after starting the game 0 for 7. So Noah King is now 9 for his last 12, Chris. And just like you talked about, really finding his stride.
Finding his stride. He's settled down. Get that first quarter out of the way. That 0-0 has now become something to his liking.
And he's really, and if you dive deeper into the stats, he's 8 for his last 9. So his accuracy has really improved, and it started with finding throws for him to complete to get his confidence going. And once he connected for a few of those, he's had big pass plays, and now he's got nearly 200 yards in just one half of football.
And he has time. He has time back there right now. The passes that are happening are really about timing. They're 2 seconds and under. They're not sitting back there and staring all over the place. When he scrambles, that's when his legs have been a benefit to him.
Tonsfeld, play fake, keeps it himself, follows his blockers to the outside, and he is roped down by Derek Wilsey. The linebacker coming up and throwing him down after a gain of 3 to the 39.
Yeah, Hunter Zenzen on top was engaged with a Caledonia defender all the way into the Barnesville sideline on that one. So starting to see a little bit of, not frustration, but just trying to get back into this game maybe from the Barnesville offense here.
Well, and we talked about it. We read all week how much this entire season has been leading up to this game for the Trojans.
Yeah.
Especially after last year and the frustration of that state final loss. Tonsfeld gives after a couple fakes to Wall, who's got room to run. Wall cuts it back inside midfield. Caston makes the tackle. Flag comes in late as he is tackled at the 44 of Caledonia. But hold everything. We'll see what the flag's for.
They're going to get against Zenzen here. And this is a continuation of the last play. And you got to make sure that you rein it in a little bit here. It's going to go against Barnesville when they just got a little bit of momentum here. But 2 plays now where Zenzen has taken his guy, where he's driving them.
Finishing the box too much, huh?
Going a little too far. It's the switch on and the switch off mentality here. We'll see what ends up happening here.
And now Barnesville.
Offense, number 80, 10-yard penalty at the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
It's a spot foul. They call it holding, I believe. So spotted back at the 41-yard line.
Well, I love the fact of the intensity. And I love the fact that, you're playing hard. And the play before it, you watch, whistle happens, and you're going all the way out of bounds. And then this continuation happens downfield. Now you bottle that up into the 6-second rule.
Clock's rolling, just 10 seconds left in the half, so probably the final play of the half as Tonsfeld will keep it himself. And will be stopped up for no gain as time expires here in the first half. Caledonia's offense comes to life in the second half, and they tack on a couple touchdowns late. They go to the halftime break with a 22-6 lead over Barnesville. You are watching the Class 2A state semifinals from US Bank Stadium on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Sorry, I get emotional talking about this. 2 seconds. Okay. My family's always talked about how hard it was to live back in Mexico. They said just get a good education and then get a good job. Because I applied at 15 because this is the job that you could apply for when you're 15. 10 piece McDouble and then sweet sauce star in the bag, okay? So I want to study music education and family consumer science education. So I know I want to be a teacher. And I feel like McDonald's has really influenced me to become a teacher. I'm always making sure that everybody's doing the right procedures and coaching. I would just tell people to just go for it because there's just a lot of opportunities behind the job. The tuition assistance, mixed scholars, archways, just a lot of opportunities that you have with the job. I wouldn't trade the job for the world now.
Back here at US Bank Stadium, halftime of the Class 2A state semifinals. Bill Hupp alongside Chris Olm. And Chris, it was 0-0 until about midway through the second quarter. And then first half highlights, an explosion of highlights in the second part of that second quarter, including
we'll see the first.
And it actually started in the first quarter with this fumble.
The first fumble right there, that was the first quarter feel, right, Bill? Back and forth, really nothing going.
And then Eli King put his foot in the ground and dashed 43 yards. And that was the first big play for either team, and it really set things going offensively. Adam Tonsfeld responded right away with a 78-yard touchdown scamper, breaking tackles and using that speed. Incredible run for the junior to get the Trojans within 2. They would miss the extra point, and then it was Noah to Eli, and the King brothers, made it happen. Kronbusch with another touchdown catch right before half, and there's a reason you don't want to give this Caledonia offense too much time to work, because they have started to operate with surgical-like precision in the second half. We talked about Noah King 1 for his first 9. Well, he is 8 for his last 10 for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. 9 for 19, 179 yards, 197 yards and 2 touchdowns in that first half. And also ran in for a score. So really just an impressive drive for impressive performance for this Caledonia offense in the second quarter.
Well, you think about it, first quarter you're watching, it's back and forth. They get stops. It looks like teams are going to score. They get penalties. They get pushed back. We come into the second quarter, and then both teams wake up. The Caledonia, like you said, they get the touchdown on the King 1-yard plunge after that really nice play. Then Tonsfeld answers immediately, 8-6, and you feel like, okay, it's going to be this game. The really differentiating factor right now is the offensive line is giving Noah King time to throw, and now Noah King is hitting his stride. Like you said, if he was 8 of 9 here, when he was really, there was almost like a 1 for 10 feel going on. All of a sudden now, Brody Johnson, and kids kicking the extra points, they're getting opportunities here where they're not missing, and this is where you have to capitalize. If you're any team playing Caledonia in the state, Noah King right now is setting the tone. It'll be an interesting third quarter here coming into 2A action.
Unbelievable. 0-0, and then 4 touchdowns in the last 8 minutes of the second quarter. In a 7-minute span, really, of that second quarter, have us at 22-6. And Chris, talk about the uphill climb the Trojans face with the kind of offense they run.
It's hard. I mean, you're double tight end, tight T. You're asked to say, come look, we're going to do some fakes going around. When it comes down to it, Barnesville is going to have to get Tonsfeld right back into the game. They're going to have a 3-and-out type of thing where they get the ball right back. They're going to get right back into the game by things they do well. You see Caledonia has covered their passing almost exclusively here in the first 2 quarters. In order for them to get back into the game, they're going to have to do it well on the ground and possibly, spring a Tonsfeld or have some sort of trickery reverse where they can get a quick score here. Or it could be a case where Caledonia is just going to keep tacking on points through the arm of King.
And the Warriors get the football to start the second half as well.
Yeah.
Having deferred and won the toss. A couple numbers for you at halftime. Rushing for Barnesville, they're led by their quarterback, Adam Tonsfeld. 14 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown, but really it was that huge 78-yard touchdown rush that was the difference. He's 0 for 3 through the air. Caledonia, Noah King, as we said, 9 for 19, 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. They haven't done much rushing, just 5 attempts for 12 yards, but receiving Eli King, 3 catches for 57 yards and a score, and then Cole Kronbusch, 3 for 121 and a score. As first down 7-6, total yardage relatively even. So it really tells the tale of a game that was pretty even for the first quarter and a half. But Caledonia through the air has really separated themselves and put the Trojans behind the 8 ball.
Barnesville's had opportunities too. I think of the opportunity where there was 1st and 33 there, and they could have, stopped the score. But what does Noah King do? He throws a strike and gets it right back down to the 2 or 3 yard line, and they punch it in. So a game that has been really close on numbers and on paper here is turning about a game of field position as well. So 22-6 here. Barnesville's going to have to really hit their stride offensively here to make sure they get a push in order to get back in this game.
Yeah, and let's also talk about how well the Caledonia run defense has played, because they've largely, other than that long run for Tonsfeld, they've largely bottled up this Barnesville attack led by guys like Elias Dvorak and Noah King.
Yeah, they're just the defense right now for Caledonia is challenging that Barnesville offensive line to beat them. They're not really coming hard on the inside. The outside is keeping contained. You can tell they've watched tons of film on Barnesville saying, my job is to do X, Y, and Z and just do it straight ahead.
The winner this afternoon will play Minneapolis North in the 2A Prep Bowl 2 weeks from today at 1 o'clock right here at U.S. Bank Stadium. We're at halftime. We are at halftime, and we will take an extended break, but we'll be back shortly to bring you second half action from U.S. Bank Stadium. 22-6, Caledonia on top of Barnesville in the Class 2A state semifinal here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Stream TV anywhere with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn wait time into showtime. Simple, easy, awesome.
Are you sick? Got the flu? Do you feel not right? Hit your head so hard that you lost your sight? Who to call? Where to go? With your plight? The urgency room, that's right.
While Minnesota high schools pursue victories, students across the state are also pursuing a college education with help from McDonald's. Our Choice to Opportunity provides tuition assistance to restaurant employees. Crew members receive $2,500 per year for college, and managers $3,000 per year. Tuition assistance applies to community colleges, four-year universities, and trade schools. For more information, visit mcdonalds.com/education.
Your home for Minnesota high school sports is PrepSpotlight.tv. With dozens of free live stream games each week, catch all the action live or on demand. And if you miss an episode of Minnesota Prep Spotlight, you can see them all right here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
If you grew up anywhere near hockey in America, the phrase, "Do you believe in miracles?" is an iconic phrase.
Our main goal is to grow the game of hockey, make people's lives better through the game of hockey, and continue what my dad stood for.
The Herb Brooks Foundation is based on wanting to grow the game of hockey, teach kids how to play hockey, different values.
The Herb Brooks Foundation, the mission is to give the games back to the kids, to allow them opportunities to play the game that he loves so much.
We have clinics in the spring and summer and fall. Various rinks. Herb's mission was to grow the game of hockey.
The mission of the Herb Brooks Foundation is to help grow the game for kids, but it's more than just that slogan. What we're really trying to do is build character for kids by teaching them great life lessons through the game of hockey, just the way Herb Brooks used to teach his kids.
At halftime, Caledonia leads Barnesville 22-6. As the two teams are back on the field to warm up, we'll take a quick break and bring you second half action coming up from PrepSpotlight.tv.
While Minnesota high schools pursue victories, students across the state are also pursuing a college education with the help from McDonald's. Archways to Opportunity provides tuition assistance to restaurant employees. Crew members receive $2,500 per year for college, managers $3,000 per year. Tuition assistance applies to community colleges, four-year universities, or trade schools. For more information, visit mcdonalds.com/education.
And we're back here at US Bank Stadium, getting set to start the second half here on PrepSpotlight.tv, your home for all of the state quarterfinals and state semifinals and all the state tournaments for the Minnesota State High School League. As some pictures of our crew in the truck. Everyone waving. Couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work all weekend. Jake and Zach, camera guys down below us, bringing you phenomenal shots from all of the state semifinals here at US Bank Stadium. Kit and company holding court right below our broadcast position here.
You know how many hours go into this? You know, I think it goes without saying is that we're pretty spoiled here in the state of Minnesota to have the great opportunity to have the coverage that we do. And it's a lot of hard-working hours that everybody you saw right there putting into it. You know, it's not as easy as just flicking a switch and coming out here and saying it. It's a lot of preparation. And the ability to be at US Bank Stadium and one of the nicest stadiums in the country as well, it's just breathtaking to have that opportunity for these kids and these communities to come in here and do it.
Yeah, no question about it. Just could not ask for a bigger stage or a better venue. And we will have coverage for you all day today and tomorrow as well. Jason Doro and Chris will have the call of Chaska and Coon Rapids coming up after this game. Again, the winner of today's game in the 2A state semifinal number 2 will play Minneapolis North. Chris, what were your impressions of the Polars from calling their game yesterday?
Yeah, very athletic team, physical. You know, it'll be interesting to see which team comes out of this here. You know, I think of just watching how the Polars match up against Barnesville, for instance, in the tight T and the opportunity for them to face that. And then looking at how do the Polars match up against a Noah King-led offense when they spread it around. So, you know, two different styles here, and I'm sure that Charlie Adams and his staff are definitely here watching this today and figuring out if they're not here, they're listening to us and figuring out which team that is going to be meeting them right there at Thanksgiving weekend here at the US Bank Stadium.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, you really can't give Noah King time to throw, because if you do, he will pick you apart.
Yeah.
Or he'll run it if he doesn't have options downfield. So critical drive coming up for Barnesville, for both teams really, but especially for Barnesville, wouldn't you say, Chris?
Yeah, Barnesville right now on the kickoff is hoping that they get one of those 3-and-outs, 4, 5-and-out type of things, because if Noah King right now can march them down the field, it's just a double-edged sword where you score before half, get the ball, score in the third quarter. It's exactly why you defer. That's why the teams that you see now in all levels are deferring into the second half.
So Eli King awaiting the kickoff back at his 12. It looks like Caledonia may be expecting some sort of onside kick or something to that effect as they get set to start things. Big drive for them as well, leading by 16. And would love to increase the separation as it bounds. It's past King, who will pick it up at his own 10. Try to pick his way through a host of defenders, and does. Eli King racing past midfield, one man to beat. King dragged down at the 31 of Barnesville, tackled by Tonsfeld. What a return for Eli King.
Well, it looked hopeless, right? How many bounces did it happen? It gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. He takes it. All you see is white jerseys right there, and then he hits the burners.
58-yard kickoff return by Eli King to start things off. And for Barnesville, the second half almost couldn't have started worse.
Yeah, you know, you thought King would have been go to the end zone, but Tonsfeld comes up with the touchdown tackle right there, saving. Boy, now it's going to be an opportunity. Can Barnesville keep him out of the end zone here? Not a way if you're a Trojan fan, you want to start this third quarter.
Second straight drive that Caledonia has started in the Barnesville side of the field as Noah King directing traffic with 3 receivers split right. Takes the snap, looking left. King rolling right, chased, directing traffic. He gets pressured by Zenzen, and he's forced to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
King had plenty of time to throw back there. Again, not a lot of pressure in that backfield. Barnesville choosing to cover up the receivers on the outside. We could count it right there. 2, 3. You know, King probably a little bit antsy on that one. But as he rolls out, your receivers should be breaking off too. You can't be running the same routes. And when you see a rollout like that, you want guys to go with you. So the breakouts weren't there for him. He's forced to throw it away.
Zenzen and Connor Morse putting the pressure on Noah King. This time Eli King split to the near side. And running back next to Noah King as he takes the shotgun snap. Throwing down the seam, caught. Catch is made, dragging defenders. Cole Kronbusch inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5. A big connection and a huge gain of 27 yards on second down.
Well, that quick post has been there almost exclusively second quarter and now on this drive. Look how he just delivers that ball. His shoulders are high, he stands tall, but he does it with authority. Watch King right now. Good movement on his feet. Look at that. Just a beautiful strike right where you want it delivered as a post pattern on that one, bringing up the first down there.
Noah King over 200 yards passing now on the afternoon. As first and goal from the 5. Send Kronbusch in motion. Give, looking for Eli King. Caught. Touchdown. Second time that Noah and Eli have connected this afternoon.
Well, we know that combination, king to king. And I'm afraid we're not going to see the end of it here if you're a Trojan fan. But if you're a Warrior fan on the other end, my oh my, does that look pretty. King knows exactly what he's doing on that little quick out. And he just gets it into the hand as a receiver. Watch, no step, delivered on the out, and the reach.
So once again, Johnson will trot on to try to tack on the extra point. Second consecutive drive, Chris, that it was 3 plays and a score. And Johnson's kick is through the uprights and good. It's 29-6. Caledonia pulling away from Barnesville.
Yeah, right now, the Trojans are in a situation where they got to do a little check here. They got an offense now that's predicated on ball control, time of possession, pounding it on the ground. You're going to have to get a good drive. You don't want to break suit just yet. If you are something that you're not right now, that plays right into Caledonia's defense, you have to get everybody on the same page, get a drive together, look for a score. But if it's a 3 and out or a 4 and out, boy, oh boy, Warrior momentum on this sideline is starting to build.
And you have to do what you do, right, Chris? I mean, you can't go away from your team's identity, and Barnesville very much has an identity. Noah King now, how about these numbers? 11 for 22, 229 yards, and 3 scores now. 2 of those going to his brother Eli, who's now got 4 catches for 62 yards. And like you said, a 3-play drive from the 39 of Barnesville to score in the first half, and on the first drive of the second half, 3 plays from the 32 after that great return by Eli King set them up with fantastic field position. Hunter Anderson dives forward to the 25, which is where Barnesville will start, 1st and 10. And here's some drive highlights, and started with this fantastic return by Eli King.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be nothing, and look at right here, he turns the Jets on. If it's not for Tonsfeld on this one, Boy, they would have started off with points on the board on that first play.
Terrific pursuit by Tonsfeld. But Eli King, how many times today have we seen him just put his foot in the ground and just change directions?
And just go. I love that pass. That's a definer right there. That shows you the confidence level right there. Taking off from a really slow start from King in that first quarter. Now he has found his stride, and that's not good if you're a Trojan.
He just looks like a different player. I mean, this is an offense that didn't even pick up its first down until 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. But once they did, they have been as advertised for a team with a 66-game winning streak. And right there, Hunter Anderson commits the false start and moves it back to the 20-yard line. So Barnesville in a position that they have not found themselves in all season. Coming in 12-0. Send Wall in motion, pitch it out wide, and Caledonia just blows it up. Terrific pursuit by Noah King, and now you have some chippiness behind the play as the flag comes flying in. Brady Kroll tangled up with a Caledonia Warrior. And we'll see what the call is.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense number 8. Dead ball, personal foul, offense number 74. Most penalties, offset.
Old offsetting
Second
penalties
down.
as Noah Jennings, the linebacker, was locked up after the play with Kroll.
Take a peek here. I'm not too sure. Kroll got him right there. You see, we are on the Warrior sideline right there. They give an offsetting penalties, but I think the frustrations right now on the Barnesville Trojan sideline are evident. We saw it with Zenzen on 2 plays leading into the half, where he ends up getting a hold, and now we're seeing it with Kroll here on the offensive line.
Yep, Tonsfeld decides to keep it. He breaks a couple tackles. He's lucky to get positive yardage at all. Noah King ropes him down at the 20. Somehow picked up 3.
Right now, you can see the penetration. You see that? Watch the 6 in the front. They're not looking to shoot gaps. All they're looking to do is stand up and take the guy in front of them and just content to hold. You see that? You see how all the people stand up right there? That's how you defend the Barnesville Trojans. You're not in the backfield. You're going to say, come and meet us at the line. We're not going to go get you. And that has been the formula for success for this Warrior defense.
Tonsfeld play fake, throwing, lofting it up, looking for Caden Zenzen, and it's knocked away by Kronbusch. Cole Kronbusch has, as we said, phenomenal receiving stats this afternoon, Chris, but he has also played a whale of a game at safety.
He sure has, and he's covered out there. It is out of characteristic to see a position where Barnesville is going to have to use pass to get back in this game, because you're right. You mentioned it a few plays ago. They haven't been in this position this year, but he's been right there to cover. Watch that. Played the ball. Beautiful cut coming in. Nobody's getting over the top of you. Comes up incomplete on the pass.
So Tonsfeld standing back at his own 9 to send this punt away. Eli King waiting back at midfield, and Tonsfeld directs it away from King. And once more, Caledonia takes over with fantastic field position, this time at the Barnesville 37. Third straight drive that the Warriors will have started in Trojan territory.
Watch the shoulders of these two teams right now. Barnesville's walking onto the field here. You got to get together if you're Barnesville right now and call everybody together. Say, we got to get a stop here. If we can't get a stop here, you're seeing the shoulders come down. Caledonia right now look at them. They're huddled up. They're ready to do this as a team. And you're already here with 9:43 left in the third quarter here. You're starting to see 2 teams separate right now. One kind of in the huddle position and everybody else on the other side with their shoulders down.
So Noah King and the Caledonia offense go back to work. King, quick hitter for Kronbusch on the edge. He breaks the tackle, stiff arm, Kronbusch to the edge. Kronbusch knocked out of bounds finally by Noah Kraus. In fact, I think he may have stepped out at the 21, but not before he picks up 16 on first down.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get hit in the backfield. Barnesville did a nice job pursuing. Just got to wrap up and tackle. Again, look at the easy throw. When you make an easy throw, it's going to look like a big yards through the air on the stat sheet. But all that is just a no-step drop, a turn and look. See how he delivers that? Practice that all day long, easy throw.
Great blocking on the edge as well by his receiving compatriots.
And he made 2 people miss on that one as well.
Yeah, great yak for Cole Kronbusch. From the 21, Eli King split out to the wide side. King Comes back for it, catches it, and he's going to be short of the goal line. They're actually going to say he dropped it. Looked like he had it initially, but good job by one of the defenders down there. Looks like it was Cameron Hang, the sophomore cornerback, wrenched it free. So,
yeah, I'm not sure if that was a stop route. Stop routes are designed to throw behind. You see it a lot in the NFL, those routes where they throw it and the receiver looks like they're going to run down the field and they come back.
Back shoulder throw.
Yeah, the back shoulder throw, exactly right. And he did exactly that, but the defender came in there nicely and got that ball to the turf.
Could also have just been underthrown. Same formation. Ball on the far hash for Noah King from the 21-yard line. King is going to run it on the design draw. King. Joey Mark gives him a whack, and Owen King is slow to get up. He's laying down on the turf, and Joey Mark swiped at him with that big paw that's got a club on it. That's all bandaged up, as you'll see on this highlight. But Noah King is down. He's seated, trying to recover. So while they attend to him, we'll take a timeout. 9:18 left to go in the third quarter. It's 29-6 Caledonia on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Splash, splash, splash. Apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow, just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, splash, splash. Apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Noah King still down on the turf for Caledonia, getting stretched out. Perhaps a cramp. Isaiah Reinhardt is the backup quarterback for Caledonia, so he will have to come in for at least a play. Bill Hupp alongside Chris Ohm. Class 2A state semifinals, a highly anticipated rematch of the 2018 Prep Bowl between Barnesville and Caledonia has been all Warriors as they appear likely to extend their winning streak to a national best 67 games.
They get smiles on their faces there. That's a good sign.
They have the ball at the Barnesville 15-yard line. 3rd and 4 coming up, so not ideal by any means. And in fact, it looks like it's going to be Eli King who will take over at quarterback. Direct snap, low snap. King takes it. Stiff arm. Eli King puts his foot in the ground, lowers his shoulder. Touchdown, Caledonia! Eli King on 3rd down, took matters into his own hands and housed it from 15 yards.
Well, that's not a mistake if you're watching at home. You saw King enter the end zone. The problem is he's wearing the number 2 and not the number 1. Direct snap right here. Gets great blocking out front and great no blocking out there as well. That would have been a penalty coming back. Watch out here, the block right there, and then the no block.
And there's just very little that a player of Adam Tonsfeld's size can do once 6'3", 195-pound Eli King lowers his shoulder. Johnson tacks on the extra point. Caledonia continues to roll. 36-6. They lead Barnesville with 9:02 left to play in the third quarter. You're watching the Class 2A state semifinals on PrepSpotlight.tv. So we thank you for tuning in. A 30-point Warrior lead and another drive. This one was 4 plays, but their last 3 drives have all started inside of the Barnesville 40-yard line, Chris. And that just goes to show, especially with the dynamic offense like Caledonia has, how important field position can be.
I got to tell you, this is the 6th game that I've watched here out of the 6 games. I'm shocked at this score right now. Barnesville is a very good team. What does that tell you about Caledonia? Man, year in and year out, you watch Caledonia come to this level. This is superior football. I mean, even the years that they might not have won the state championship when Eden Valley Watkins got them those years, they were a very good team.
Jackson Wall takes the kickoff back at the 20, and he's thrown down across the 30, the 31. How about this, Chris? Caledonia's offense goes 3 and out and punts on each of their first 3 possessions. They have scored touchdowns on their next 5. And drive highlights here. Started off with a nifty run and catch. Catch and run by Cole Kronbusch.
Easy pass, right? Make it easy. You don't have to throw in the air. Just get it in your athlete's hands.
And then Eli King took a low snap, got by Joey Mark, bounced it to the outside, lowered his shoulder, and got in for 6. Nice run on first down for first down yardage. As Tonsfeld gets it out to the 44-yard line. But yeah, I don't think anyone saw this kind of a score in this game.
No, I agree with you. You watch it right now, and Tonsfeld does a nice job getting the first down on the outside. You know, Barnesville fighting and clawing and scratching here, just doing what they're doing. I thought we would have had, especially after 0-0 at the end of the first quarter, and then it was an 8-6 game.
Yeah, this game looked like the state championship as Hunter Anderson makes a couple men miss, gets inside midfield, down to the 48, a pickup of 8 on first down, and not the most straight ahead run you've ever seen. But yeah, last year's Prep Bowl game was 7-0 Caledonia until late in the fourth quarter before they added 2 touchdowns to make it 21-0. But this year, since that second drive of the second quarter, it has been all Warriors. They have scored 28 unanswered. Tonsfeld keeps it around the right edge. Cuts it back upfield. First down yardage as he gets inside the 40-yard line down to the 38. Noah King trotting on the field, so good to see the senior co-captain returning for Caledonia.
I saw Noah King going back out there. That's a great sign. I don't know if he was self-subbing in or not, but next thing you know, he's coming back out here. I think Brent Schrader, the coordinator out there, is trying to get him integrated back in the game.
Tonsfeld gives to Wall. Wall just trying to pick up whatever yardage he can. He'll maybe get a yard down to the 37. And Caledonia is fine with this clock continuing to roll.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's a great point, and I'm glad you said it. When you're facing a team like this and they can't come out of character, the clock rolls. And even in an incomplete pass, maybe once out of 5-10 plays even, it stops the clock. But now, 3 timeouts, this quarter is just seemingly looking to be an ominous down because you're a run-based team like Barnesville is.
7:04 to go in the third quarter. 36-6 Caledonia. Tonsfeld fakes it, keeps it himself. Follows his blockers inside the 35 to the 34. And if you think we're stunned up here in the broadcast booth, you can only imagine the Barnesville Trojans. How much they anticipated this game since the Prep Bowl last year. And
I think about the teams that have played them too, and you talk about such a great section up there year in and year out. Barnesville has had some good games, but they really have come uncontested. So teams that have been Prep Bowl participants, the Breckenridges of the world, the Warroads, the Hollies, the Pelican Rapids, just have taken care of those teams this year with big scores.
Tonsfeld nowhere to go. There's multiple flags on the field after Tonsfeld was stopped by Logan Bancy and Elias Dvorak, among others.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense number 29.
Another dead ball, personal
15-yard
foul
penalty.
this time on the Trojans.
Fourth down.
As their frustration continues to mount.
Yeah, watch Cameron hang here after the play.
Hang was tangled up, and then he just dragged the Caledonia defender by the face mask. Yeah. So that moves the football back inside midfield to the 49. And that's just
right now the Trojans need to get together. Huddles and team and getting together. Those things cost. And you watch this, and you no matter if you're watching it on replay or live or at home, this is the times we got to get everybody together and make sure that you just dominate what you can do on your end. And those plays they end up being killers.
You're facing 4th and 6 anyway, so now they'll punt it away. It'll take a Barnesville roll out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So that's where Caledonia will take over, having scored touchdowns in their last 5 drives. And it does look like Noah King will be taking the field, retaking the field. And so that's fantastic for Warrior fans to see as they look set to face Minneapolis North in the Prep Bowl in 2 weeks' time here at US Bank Stadium. Still a lot of football to play, but Caledonia with a comfortable 30-point lead and back on offense, up 36-6. 2 receivers bunched to the extreme near side. Out of the shotgun, Eli King wide. Noah King had to pick that snap up off the ground, and that play was dead from the start. He loses a yard as another flag comes flying in, and again, the frustration mounting for this Barnesville team. Brady Kroll, this time having to be the one.
Dead ball.
The one having
Personal
to be
foul.
pulled off.
Defense number 74. 15-yard penalty.
Get a little bit out of control from the Barnesville sideline.
First down.
These plays are plays that you can control. You can get everybody together. Remind them why they're here. They're in the semifinals. This is the Final Four of 2A. You're one of the best teams at this point.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Coach Strand should maybe take a timeout, try to cool his troops down as they've
They play hard. You get the scouting report on Barnesville, you talk to other teams, and you know they're going to play hard. But there's a difference in playing hard and then playing after the whistle. And right now, you watch everything that's going on with the white jersey. It's happening after whistle and away from the play.
And they're giving up yards they can ill afford to surrender. They're going to the ground this time as Jed Caston picks up first down yardage across the 45 out to the 47. Pickup of 12, and that is for Caledonia just their 8th rushing attempt of the game. Meanwhile, they've thrown it 24 times, so weird to see them run and weird for it not to be a King brother. Spotted officially at the 46-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Caledonia will take as much time off the play clock as they can, up by 30. Trips to the near side for Noah King from the shotgun. And
I need some movement here, I think.
False start.
False start, a rare second half mistake on Caledonia. And credit to their team as well, Chris, because they had unofficially six penalties in that first half, and they have really cleaned it up here in the second half.
Yeah. The penalties are the things, again, you talk about what you can control and what you can't control. But for Barnesville right now, they tighten up here a little bit. And get a stop here. Noah King is coming back in here after cramping up.
Something to feel good about the momentum. All with the black and gold right now as Jed Caston leaps forward and gets back to about the 45-yard line. Pickup of 4. And you would think they wouldn't throw too much more, but Caledonia will play the entire game. So will Barnesville.
Yeah,
they'll quit in the Trojans.
They'll definitely pass short. They may not be using a lot of down the field type of passes, but I wouldn't count out just something that we've seen already to a lot of success is just short passes, as good as a run there if you're Caledonia.
Noah King will follow his lead blockers and fall forward. They'll spot him down. Not a great spot, but I think they'll spot him down about the 48. So just a pickup of 2.
You can watch King right there. Look at that right leg. Just stiff. You can tell he's cramping up and tight.
Yeah, it wasn't as dynamic a run as we've seen from Noah King. Brings up 3rd and 8 from the 48. Stop on the play by Damian Camperud, who's been tough on that defensive line this afternoon for Barnesville.
Nice little play there defensively by the Trojans to get back into this.
Noah King looking for his brother, floats it out. He's got a step, caught Eli King hauls it in at the 20-yard line. A great pitch and catch of 28 yards.
Well, we mentioned after that second quarter that Noah King has hit his stride. He makes a heck of a throw here on the fade. Just a 3-step fade. Look at that. He puts the ball out there. You ask your receivers to run to the fade underneath the throw. And that's exactly what happened there. It was single coverage. He had help over the top, but he threw it on the outside shoulder, maybe just a tad underthrown, but had enough separation there to pick up the first down.
Officially, it was actually 32 yards on the pickup as they're knocking on the red zone once more. Caston puts his foot in the ground and turns upfield for a gain of 1. So when they needed Noah King to make a play, Noah King came through with a beautiful lofted ball, hit his brother in stride, who had a step down the right sideline, and it was plenty for the first down. So 2nd and 9 from the 19 coming up for Caledonia.
And get some groundwork in here. Blocking up front for the Warriors, so nice little 1-2 yard gain. I would say out of character a little bit here. They're definitely establishing the throw, but they will settle for taking time off the clock now here in the third quarter.
Now with a 30-point lead for sure. Owen King picking his way through traffic inside the 15, near first down yardage, but a couple yards short, down at the 12.
Yeah, King, you could tell, is just a little bit stiff now. He's out there, he's competing. Listen, he's the starting quarterback on this Warrior offense, but even his cuts are a little bit tender out there. We saw this in the game when we watch his cuts. He's just putting forward and doing the best he can.
Bound for South Dakota State University to join his brother Owen, who also was a star quarterback for this Caledonia team. So 2 sports stars, the King brothers. Noah King, direct snap, picking his way. Noah King to the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors. And he is really struggling with that leg, Chris.
Struggling with his leg, but he saw it at the 5-yard line. You see he turned the jet on there. And you
that
can
right
see it
leg
right
is
there.
Cramping up something fierce for Noah King, and he still managed to house it from 12 yards out. His second touchdown run of the afternoon, and they're an extra point away from making it 43-6. The route is officially on.
That's number 34, half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
For Noah King, 9 rushes, 33 yards, and 2 scores to go along with 13 of 25 for 277 and 3 touchdowns. So he's now got an impressive 310 yards of total offense and 5 touchdowns, as that is right down the middle for Johnson. We'll take a quick break and come back. 1:06 left in the third quarter. Caledonia all over Barnesville, 43-6, right here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
While Minnesota high schools pursue victories, students across the state are also pursuing a college education with the help from McDonald's. Archways to Opportunity provides tuition assistance to restaurant employees. Crew members receive $2,500 per year for college, managers $3,000 per year. Tuition assistance applies to community colleges, 4-year universities, or trade schools. For more information, visit mcdonalds.com/education.
Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, the Class 2A state semifinals. Caledonia has scored 3 touchdowns in this second half. They have outscored Barnesville 21-0 in the second half, and they have a 43-6 lead. And I wouldn't be surprised, Chris, if Noah King's day is done.
Well, that's the difference maker right there. That's the guy who's led him back into this game. You got to remember, right, Bill? At the end of the first quarter, it was what?
He was 0 of 7. He was 1 for his first 9 passing.
1 for his first 9. Barnesville's defense looks good. It's 0-0. It's an 8-6 game. And now we're sitting at 43-6. I mean, that just turned in a 2-quarter span here today.
Jackson Wall protecting the football out across the 35. couple third. So he is definitely a candidate for our Spotlight MVP of the game, which we will award immediately following this afternoon's game. And then, of course, immediately following this game, we will have Chaska and Coon Rapids in a 5A state semifinal. That should be a defensive tussle. But we thought this game would be that too, and it has turned into anything but. Tonsfeld fumbles the football and falls on it as he is fallen on by Isaac Denstad. And now Barnesville just maybe pressing a little bit, Chris.
Yep. And again, you're asking them to do something that they're not. You're wanting them. You're watching this and saying, just throw the ball, just spread it out. But they're not that. They are a ball control team. They are a team that believes even if they're down a score or two, which they haven't been, right? All season, they could still get back into the game. Now you're looking at, boy, oh boy, time is their enemy here. We're still just ticking into the third quarter.
Hunter Anderson swallowed up after a no gain, maybe even a loss of a half yard. And for Barnesville, obviously unaccustomed to being in this position and frustrated at what looks assuredly to be a third loss in 4 state tournaments to this Caledonia Warriors team. We just hope that they can maintain their composure as the third quarter comes to an end. We go to the fourth quarter coming up here from US Bank Stadium. Caledonia on top of Barnesville 43-6 on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Time to buy a new battery? Reach for what works. A battery from FVP. Verified, proven.
Back here at US Bank Stadium, Bill Hupp alongside Chris Ohm. That third quarter dominated by Caledonia, 21 points. As we take a look at some of the highlights for the Warriors, and it was the Noah King show, getting it on the edge to Cole Kronbusch. Made a couple nice moves. Just got chunk play after chunk play in that third quarter, Chris.
Yep. And here we see the direct snap to his brother right there to Eli King, and then he scores.
He's so hard to tackle in the open field at 6'3", and then as one King brother does, so must the other. 3 King brother touchdown rushes today, 1 by Eli and 2 by Noah. And Noah, after a slow start, has shown why he is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the state.
It's so hard to think that you're calling Noah and Eli, and for those that know, with Owen King, how great he was too. It's just, there's amazing lineage there in Caledonia.
We were trying to pitch it to Hunter Anderson, but the play was blown dead.
Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Wall got going in a little early. 43-6. This game at one point was 8-6 after a 78-yard touchdown run by Adam Tonsfeld. Cut the Caledonia lead to 8-6, but it has been all Warriors since then.
Impressive day so far if you're a Warrior fan. The boy, they kicked it on, there's no doubt.
Play fake, Tonsfeld back to pass, looking down the seam, and it's caught. Caden Zenzen tackled just short of the first down marker across the 35. And now the student sections of the next 2 teams here, Coon Rapids and Chaska. And how about this Coon Rapids story, Chris? You and Jason Doro will surely get to it as we see this completion. First pass completion of the afternoon for Barnesville. 4th and 10 coming up for the Trojans, but Coon Rapids in their first state tournament since they won the state title in 1983. Another penalty flag comes flying in.
Legal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
It's just all coming apart at the seams for the Trojans.
And the Trojans right now, an opportunity. You see Zenzen head to the sideline here. And to get the troops gathered, but just no momentum forward. Besides the touchdown by Tonsfeld, there really hasn't been a play that just stands out or a drive. I mean, that one play is that play that got him back into the game. Other than that, it has been all Warriors here today at US Bank Stadium.
That changes the calculation, and so Tonsfeld's back to potentially, actually Tonsfeld goes in motion. Trojans back to punt it away, and they will. Caledonia not even sending someone back, as it takes a Barnesville roll down near the 30-yard line. And right at the 30 is where Hunter Zenzen will touch it up. Disappointing end to his career, the Iowa State recruit, but what a career it was for this Barnesville team.
Oh, a tremendous athlete. I mean, you hear nothing but good things when you talk about the ability and athletes that Barnesville has had this year, and his name kind of rises to the top. He's one of those athletes you want to watch on highlight films, and like you said, the Iowa State recruit here, they're going to get a good one down there in Ames, Iowa.
Dalen Lemke figures to see a lot of the football here. Him and Jed Caston, as they'll go with a two-back set. More of a traditional power I formation with just two receivers out there now for Caledonia. Lemke picks his way inside or out across the 30, out near the 35-yard line. We just would love nothing more than to grind these clock down and pick up a couple first downs. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, Chris, but what do you see as the intriguing points of a Minneapolis, North Caledonia State Prep Bowl?
Well, it's going to be fast and physical. You're going to have two teams that are going to play tremendous speed on the outsides. We saw it here today. I think that, going into the game, you look around, you kind of do the lacrosse newspaper, and you read what they're saying in the Fargo Forum and see what everybody's kind of talking about. I was really surprised that most teams thought that maybe the team speed wasn't there for Caledonia, but I think today that we saw a team that can definitely keep up with the Minneapolis North Polars.
Lemke with an impressive run as he picks up 13 out near midfield, and plenty for first down yardage. Look at his vision, just bouncing it outside and then knowing when to cut up and hit the hole. Ain't a 14 officially.
Zenzen in the tackle on that one. You're right, it was great vision. You ask your running backs to stay true to the block. If you can make money on the outside, you hit it and go, and that's what happened right there, and he moved the sticks.
It's remarkable, too. You think about the protection that Noah King's gotten today, and they're without two of their best offensive linemen, Luke Twitty and Isaiah Forrester, out with a knee injury. So Caledonia just goes to show the depth of this Warriors program as Lemke lowers his shoulder and picks up 4 inside of Barnesville territory. And now this is when you just get worn down if you're the Barnesville Trojans. A lot of their players playing two-way, and Caledonia can just lean on them at this point. Continue to milk this clock. We're inside of 8:45 to go in the game.
The sun's coming out here at US Bank. We've had a good 6 games here already in 2 short days and 3 days with great semifinal action. This Caledonia team is for real. They're going to extend that win streak, and you know why. It's the culture they created down there.
And extend it in such an impressive fashion as Jack Strube, senior tailback, gets the call and picks up a yard. But as we said, we're sitting here pretty shocked because Carl Frichte in the lacrosse paper this morning said, nobody will believe me, but I do think Barnesville should probably be favored. They were good last year. They gave us a game. And I'm paraphrasing him now, but he talked about how they were bigger and faster. He thought probably they were better than they were last year. So to come out and have a result, especially after the scoreless first quarter we had, is eye-opening for sure. And Caledonia commits a false start here, but I don't think anyone would have foreseen
offense.
This result.
Number 64.
2 teams
5-yard penalty.
Well, you ask
third down.
One of the things you do in the prep is you call coaches, call fans that you see in other areas, and most people would have I don't know if probably 60-40 towards Caledonia. It wasn't overwhelming. There was nobody that, even the papers today, you read them and you're like, yeah, they might have picked Caledonia, but it wasn't going to be this tremendous gap. A couple of people thought it might have been this, but for the most part, Bill, it was going to be, it's going to be a really good game. It's just been all Warriors here today.
As they will get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. But nice to see guys like Jack Strub get some playoff action in the semifinals in U.S. Bank Stadium. Yep, the Star Tribune writers, I believe, had it roughly 24-12, a couple others. But it was not predicted to be another Caledonia blowout, as the Warriors will punt it away. Tonsfeld standing back, awaiting the punt at his own 20. And he'll let it bound. It actually takes a Caledonia, or Barnesville bounce rather, to the 28 where it's touched up, and that's where the Trojans will take over. And now for Barnesville, they would just love to put together some kind of drive. Their one touchdown came off a huge 78-yard run. Seemingly came out of nowhere. So we talked about at the beginning of the game, Chris, how the Trojans needed to put together drives, sustain drives, pick up first downs, move the chains, and they just have not been able to do that today against Caledonia.
Yeah, they sure haven't. But now this is where you bring it together. Remind everybody why you're here. You're one of the top teams in the state. Put together a nice little drive here. It'd be good for the Trojans.
Tonsfeld thrown back by Ezra Dvorak after a pickup of 3. And yeah, you talked about it, Chris, but they're not going to change their offensive identity. They're going to do what they do. They don't have plays, long pass plays necessarily in the books. And Tonsfeld's a better runner than he is a passer anyway. So
I would imagine now if you're Coach Strand and staff, get everybody on the same page. It's just going to be getting right back to the ground game here. Time ticking, 5:48 here. You're not gonna force things that you do exactly right, Bill. You're not gonna throw it up. You're gonna try to establish that ground game, move the chains. Then at some point, this is where you look as a coach and why you're here. You've been to the U.S. Bank Stadium. You know this field. You reward the seniors that have worked hard and established a culture that the Trojans have of winning football here. And you make sure you do it here in these next 5 minutes and 23 seconds.
Hunter Anderson picks up a couple out to the 33, pings up 3rd down and 5. Tonsfeld keeps it. Tonsfeld, a big gainer into the second level. Adam Tonsfeld runs out of bounds to stop the clock at the 30-yard line. Big run of 37 for Adam Tonsfeld. Stepped out officially at the 31, but it's been Adam Tonsfeld on the ground, and you can see why he's piled up the tremendous numbers that he has carrying out those play fakes.
Great deception on that. That's what you want that offense to look like. He hipped that ball on the left side when he's running out. Nobody thought he had it. And good fake on the inside. It got the linebackers to bite, and when he saw the edge, he took it.
Tonsfeld gave it up the gut. He really does carry that play fake through all the way. He's got now 22 carries for 167 yards and a touchdown. By far the leading rusher. He's the only Trojan that's over 20 yards on the ground.
I imagine if you watch this game over again, you're going to see a lot of those Caledonia guys actually tackling the person, even if they had the ball or not. It's one of those offenses that you talk about. Well, Steve Hamilton and Elk River kind of developed the deception offense and got it back. You watch on these plays, fullbacks getting tackled.
Up the gut, Anderson, a yard and a half short of the first down. 4 minutes left in the game.
Nice little gainer up the middle there.
It was really just, at this point for Caledonia, an expectation of success as they are gearing up for a run at their 5th state championship consecutively, and their dominance as a program is just remarkable. We'll talk about it in a second as a flag flies and blows the play dead. In the last 12 years, Chris, Caledonia 9 Class 2A state titles, a 178-6 record. Just
Dead
remarkable.
Ball. Encroachment. Defense number 76.
They're not just winning games, but they're
penalty.
outscoring teams by an average of 42-7 in these games. So just absolutely dominant as that offside gives Barnesville a first down inside of the Caledonia red zone. Now, Barnesville did march down here in the first quarter inside the red zone thanks to some Caledonia penalties, but then they were turned over on downs, and other than that Tonsfeld run, that's really been the extent of their success as he carries it around the right edge. Adam Tonsfeld cuts it back inside, nearing the goal line. He stopped short at the 2. So Barnesville picks up another first down. They've got 1st and goal now inside the 5.
Again, great little edge run there by Tonsfeld. He got the deception. Watch how he hips that ball. You know, he kind of tucks it away. That time he just kind of saw the edge and took it as much as he could. You know, seeing a few numbers in here now for the Warriors that might be those second numbers here with both Kings on the sideline here, looking down on the sideline for the Warriors.
And that's what it's all about after all. The kids and their experience. Jackson Wall leaves the football behind, has to dive back on it, back to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, fumble in the play. The official threw the bag and got it right back.
2:34 and counting as Barnesville looking to leave on a high note. Their touchdown coming with 7:07 to go in the second quarter, and that's been really the lone offensive highlight for the Trojans this afternoon. Tonsfeld takes, pitches wide to Anderson, and he's tracked down in the backfield. Fantastic pursuit by Austin Klug, who's been really, really good on this drive in particular. Comes up from his safety position and tracks down the play.
Yeah, watch this. Get the push out, but
got off his block too.
And exactly, grab the knees and all the way down. Brings up 3rd down. You know,
Austin Klug really showing how special he is.
That Klug name's legendary. You might remember.
Oh yeah, brother Carl. Tonsfeld fakes, keeps, touchdown, Trojans. Adam Tonsfeld from 6 yards out. And Barnesville gets on the board here in the 4th quarter, tacks on another touchdown. Adam Tonsfeld, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. He's got 188 yards now and 2 scores on the ground.
Tonsfeld follows, some nice blocking up front, punching in there for Barnesville. I was going to say, it's just to equate it how impressive it is here today. Barnesville is a very good football team. Make no mistake. This on the other sideline is a team that walked through most of the games that they played all year against very good teams.
When you look at their stats, Chris, 46.3 points per game as they missed the extra point. Their defense was giving up just 8.4 points a game and 3 shutouts. They're beating teams by an average margin of victory of almost 40 points this season. So they too were dominant from the start, and they came back. They returned so many good players from that Prep Bowl team last year. So they had this rematch circled, and unfortunately for the Trojans, it has not gone their way this afternoon.
Yeah, and again, it's just Caledonia has just overwhelmed the Trojans here today.
As they do most opponents.
Yeah, and we just got to talking about how the Trojans did that all the way through up to this point. But it's Caledonia here that has just established dominance. You know, you watch on the sideline Carl Frichte getting everybody together. They coach all the way to the end. You know, and you look on the other side, Brian Strand does a tremendous job with those Trojan teams, and they believe. And it just shows you that how good Caledonia is. You know, it's like you almost want to create some sort of pool or a hashtag, who's next and who's going to beat Caledonia, like that team. Everybody thinks they are that team. Could it be Minneapolis North? in Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know.
But it's going to take a special effort to do it.
A special effort.
And a special team to do it. Even when Caledonia is not exactly firing in all cylinders, as we saw in this early part of the game, they made one big completion, brother to brother. Eli, 56-yard pass, and all of a sudden, that was really the start of something special tonight, and really Caledonia was just off to the races after that.
1:29 left here. Caledonia well within the grasp now.
Noah King will finish 13 of 25 for 277 and 3 touchdowns through the air. 9 rushes for 33 yards and 2 scores as well for good measure. And just as dominant as you want, as indeed it is going to be Isaiah Reinhardt, who takes over under center now with just 1:29 left. So again, Caledonia will take on Minneapolis North in the Class 2A Prep Bowl. So as soon as this game's concluded, we'll announce our Spotlight MVP of the game. Rushing numbers now for Adam Tonsfeld after that run. 24 carries, 188 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's been Barnesville's most impressive player. Minute 3 as the clock is inside of a minute. They'll kneel down once or twice more. And that will be all she wrote this afternoon from US Bank Stadium. Caledonia, the Class 2A powerhouse, extends their nation-long best winning streak. 67 games. 30 seconds left. One more kneel down for the Warriors. And now our section MVP, and no surprise, it's number 1, Noah King.
Noah King stepped into the game. Billy, you and I were like, this is going to get interesting really fast. But after the first quarter and midway in that second quarter, it was like a light switch, night or day. I mean, it was 1 for 9 right there, and then all of a sudden you saw this explosion and a person settle down and become the quarterback we saw here at the end.
It's the end of the game.
Quarterbacks, and we got a chance to see it here today at US Bank.
No question about it. Noah King is our section MVP. He was 12 for his last 16 for 277 and 3 scores. And as we said, he added 2 on the ground, so he had over 300 yards of total offense and 5 touchdowns. So Noah King, senior co-captain and quarterback, going to South Dakota State next year to play basketball. Our Spotlight MVP of the game for the Caledonia Warriors, who extend their nation-best winning streak to 67 games with a 43-12 rout of Barnesville here. Chris, it was a pleasure working with you. Good call in this game. A lot of fun. And hope you enjoy the rest of your broadcasts, including Chaska and Coon Rapids, coming up next here on PrepSpotlight.tv. So, again, our final from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Caledonia continues its march toward a 5th consecutive state title with a 43-12 semifinal win over Barnesville. For my partner Chris Olm, I'm Bill Hupp saying good afternoon and thank you for watching exclusive coverage of the Class 2A state semifinals on PrepSpotlight.tv.